Beat me to it, bastard. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to Wild Beyond the Witchlight D&D. So good to see you. So sorry for the lateness, but hey, fucking shit happens, and here we are. A little bit of tech issues. We also, beneficial, we got a Jennings tonight. We didn't know we would have a Jennings tonight, but we got a Jennings tonight, so we had to obviously wait for your best boy, Lucifer, to drop on in, because goddamn, you guys are going to need his help. There's some shit going down tonight, y'all. This is probably the most perilous situation you've seen the Monarch 4 in to date. For those who have been watching the stream at the start, you know that's saying something. But because we were a little late, I'm going to quick go through my sponsorship talk real quick, and then we're gonna dive into shit because this is gonna die. This
Not
could
today.
be the final stream of Wild on the Witchlight. All right, so like we do here on the Dicecream stream, we always give a shout out to our amazing and lovely sponsors that support shows like ours. And first, we're going to talk about C4 Labs, everybody. You know them, you love them, the ones that make the awesome Dicecream trays and other great dice trays for TTRPGs. And they just came out with some very amazing Halloween themed dice tray sets, and I got some here to show you really quick, like this awesome coffin one rolling in my grave, complete with a plastic covering to keep your dice secure when you're on the go.
That's awesome.
It is my favorite out of the set. It has this amazing artwork in there. It's got a cool sort of yellow acrylic lining. This is what I'll be rolling your deaths on tonight. And also, we've got some other cool designs here. You got your zombie D20. You got a little spooky pumpkin, and and last but not least, little scary ghost. Just a little scary, little spooky ghost. So yeah, so all these are available in the C4 Lab store right now. And hey, while you're at it, use code Dicecream15 to get 15% off your spooky dice set. Jennings is being a ghost right now. Hey, and you're back. Sweet. We got it going on. So yeah, go check out C4 Labs. Thank you so much, C4, for sponsoring our show. And of course, our other second amazing, glorious sponsor, the beautiful people over at Tome of Summoning. This is a new sponsor for our show. They make these amazing, wonderful paper minis, complete with reference cards, with all the stats on the back that can go on top of your DM screens for initiative orders and to help new DMs keep track of abilities and stats and all that cool stuff. And the Tome of Summoning is this awesome binder, which they sent me a new one, in ebony, luscious, royal purple color for us Canadians, Crown Royale color, as unquilted, peated area. So yeah, so you can organize all of your monsters in here. You can do it by alphabetical order, monster size, whatever. And they also make lovely DM screens with dry erase markers. Super cool stuff. For the budget DM, you can get one of their core packs that costs probably as much as buying one of the big giant minis from the main developers out there. So if you're somebody who's wanting DM, don't got a lot of cash on hand, but you want to get your army of minis to create really cool stories with your friends, check out Tome of Summoning. They make an amazing product. And once again, while you're at it, go use code Dicecream15 and get 15% off that poinches as well. I know. I was going to the first time I'm rushing through this because we got a lot of story to get through tonight with all these lovely, lovely creators. So with all of that out of the way, everyone, the moment you've been waiting for the last 2 weeks is at hand. So then, of course, how could we forget? Because I forget every goddamn time. Just because I'm an idiot and I'm forgetful. But of course, we can't start without the most lovely, amazing recap video that we get from the wonderful Jackie Elena Chan, that she edits and creates these wonderful recap videos for people who maybe are just diving in the show, who maybe didn't catch the last session of Witchlight, to catch you all up on all the antics and all the crazy scenarios, so that you'll be be able to catch up on all that stuff. So without further ado, hit it, Jody Rose!
Last time on Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
That skeleton mannequin over there.
It's been watching us and its head has turned towards our direction. I'm gonna set it on fire.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Hey, no, wait, stop. Hold on, please. You just see its jaws just clump up and down like a marionette. Just
Are you working for Endolin?
Oh my god, okay, just stop doing that. They're gonna hear you, okay? Just come over here for a second. Just come.
What do you want? Convince me to not burn you. Someone shield Ebby's eyes.
I bring his eyes open bigger and turn his head so he can look at it. Experience life, bird. Witness life.
Experience life.
Oh my god. Okay, so if I put you in a bag.
No, I don't want to go in any bag. I'd really like to leave this awful place forever.
No, you're coming with us. It's okay.
That's a no hole.
Into the bag.
What?
Into the bag.
No, help!
What? Hello? And I'll poke my head out and look into the other room. Hello, what hurts in here? Who are you?
all of the props that I described earlier start to hit it in a very specific spot right between the shoulder blades of the statue that just explodes in all directions. Hands, legs, head falls off the stone steps and falls back down. The loud clacking sounds of very fine loafers smack against the stone steps coming from the opposite end of the room. Monarch 4, Lady Endolin Moongrave would request your presence, if you don't mind. Hello. Nice to meet you, Monarch 4. Please, follow me upstairs. We've got the prop rooms already, the costumes waiting, and the audience can't wait to meet you. Monarch 5, welcome to the show. And there you go, everybody. You're all caught up on the crazy wild antics of the Monarch 4. Thank you again, as always, Jackie Chan, for editing and making those for the stream. We all really appreciate it. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting the end of these intros. Okay, so with that done, everybody, now it is time. So grab your favorite sets of dice, grab your favorite snacks, your favorite drinks. And why the hell not? Let's all dive into tonight's session of Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Go back a couple hours, redo all that.
So, last we left off, the Monarch 4 coming up the stone steps of the theater of Endolin Moongrave, the third member of the Hourglass Coven, having done a few antics, let's say, down in the prop room, the storage space underneath the theater, trying to pass themselves off as a troupe of actors that Endolin had maybe hired for a possible show. If it wasn't for the various screams of a wooden skeletal marionette that gave you away, it might have succeeded. But unfortunately, this marionette just wanted to go home, wanted to leave this awful storage space that had been banned for quite some years, and you refused to let them go, took them as a hostage as your furry Leonin friend began to stuff them into his bag. Thus, some screams let your presence known to a group of eager working goblins working on various costumes and sets for the theater above. And a particular beautiful woman known as Skye, dressed in a very luscious green outfit, makeup on, hair done up in a long ponytail, wasn't buying what you were selling pretty much. And in response, decided to liven up the underground storage space with all of these props and statues and make them come alive and attack you. And the battle went in a lot of various ways that even I didn't really expect. It kind of gave you a bit of a hard time. Some of these objects, a particular gate, if anyone can remember, the BBEG of the Witchlight, the wrought iron gate that was unkillable for some time. You guys took some heavy hits, but you dealt them out as well. And when all was said and done, the various goblins had kind of scattered out to the upper levels, leaving the lowers, this lower level a bit barren. As you did a bit of searching, you found some other goblins that were kind of hiding in some sleeping quarters nearby. But as you guys were kind of licking your wounds, so to speak, you were trying to figure out what your next moves. You're trying to figure out what your next moves were going to be. Whether you should maybe rest, whether you should go back the way you came and come back with a new mode of attack. But unfortunately, the chatter between you all were taking a bit too long. You started to hear the clacking of dress shoes, heels coming down those stone steps. And a particular goblin, we called him Steve Jobs Goblin, a goblin that was like a stage manager in fine dressed slacks and shoes, very proper with a monocle on his face, called you up to the theater, to the stage, because Endolin wanted an audience with you. And you decided to follow suit, soon starting to hear various storm clouds and the peddling of rain above as you came from the stone steps and entered into this glorious outdoor amphitheater that, of course, was adorned with sounds of rumble and thunder, and rain started to pedal down onto your bare skin. And you found yourselves, there was an audience waiting for you of around 26 or so darklings, all hooded up in the audience, waiting for their next performance. Skyla, of course, amongst them as well, who had escaped when the animated object started attacking you, who had a particularly bright glowing lantern with the silhouette of a tiny little creature running to and fro inside. And as you awaited the presence of Endolin, you looked up, and as you are outside in the Motherhorn, this dark gray stone-hewn castle with this long tower and two balconies that were above you, the second highest one, the highest one out of the tower, you notice this two slender skeletal hands reach around the railing. This person drenched in black, this wide strung dress with a billowed out that looked like a carriage on the bottom that cinched into the waist, in this long black veil like someone was attending a funeral, started to come into view. And just peering through the veil, you saw the skeletal-like face and a bit of an orange light glowing out of the midriff of the body of what you assume to be Endolin Moongrave. And as you looked up, the audience in front, the stage behind, Endolin simply welcomed you to the Motherhorn and simply said, "Welcome to the show." And this is where we start our session tonight. So as Endolin looks above you, about 40 feet up into the air, the audience of Darklings in front of you, Endolin above you, Monarch 4, what would you like to do?
Lucifer's going to go ahead and give a very curt and courteous half bow to her, just keeping eye contact with her the entire time. Saying thank you for welcome.
Just sort of bows down a little bit with her head.
Through the light here, could I see Skylar or Skyla? Can I try to see if I can clock her and where she's at?
Yeah, so Skylar's in the audience. She's right about here on the Roll20 map.
Okay.
Staying there kind of in the second row there with the lantern next to her, and she's just sort of seated, has this sort of smarmy face on her, like, oh, you guys are in for it now, and just kind of watching on to see what's going to happen next.
I am starting to like become unsettled, right? Because we're in now I know we're in a trap. Now I know we're in a bad situation. So as she's like, the show begin, I'm like, you want to see a show? And I unclip the axe, and I just kind of I ready up, and I just gaze into the crowd.
So you unhinge your axe.
Oh yeah. I'm like, you want to see a show? Clunk. clink, and I just stare at the audience.
And as soon as you unsheath your axe, Endlin way up high with the two skeletal hands exposed and the briefness of light from the lightning above illuminating the slim veil to see that skeletal face behind. You just see two fingers prop up like this, and the 26 darklings all go in for a short sword and ready themselves.
You think I'm scared, witch? I've fought many foes by the bounty. Your audience is no different.
Now. There's no need for violence. We are here for entertainment. You told my friend down here that you came as actors, as troops for a show?
Lisbeth goes, absolutely. If it's entertainment you require, it's entertainment you'll get.
Well, of course. Why else would we be here?
But, Miss Moongrave, we of course don't want to upstage the fine actress Skylar, was it? I'm sorry, I've never heard of her before. But she seemed like she knew you a great deal.
And you see Skylar from the audience just mutters to herself like, "It's Charmaine," and just like mutters that her name isn't Skylar anymore.
Do I hear that?
Make a perception check.
Not really. 8 plus 5, 13.
Yeah, so you do hear her mutter that sort of under her breath from the crowd.
Yes, Skylar said that they were very, very good at the show, and that they were like the star, rather. So I would like to propose, Miss Moongrave, I'm sure you know exactly who we are and what we've been doing. Would you like to see a wonderful show with the Monarch 4 guest starring Skylar?
Well,
in a wonderful improvisational bit of theater.
it was brought to my attention that you might be showing up at some point. How you chose to enter into my domain was a little bit of a guessing work. You could have just come through the front door after all.
We didn't want to intrude. We knew that you were very busy.
Speak for yourself.
We are creatives, of course, so coming through the front door would not have been on par to our creativity.
It was very creative, I'll give you that. But Skylar, Charmaine, whatever she calls herself these days.
Charcuterie board.
You do become flat, though.
Elizabeth is completely egging on this charcuterie lady.
You just see her in the audience, just
Driftwood.
just hear her whisper in the audience, "It's not that flat."
See more curvature, besides Driftwood.
You see that Skylar is getting very just like perturbed from the comments that you're making. Her ego just continually being poked at with all of your comments, but clearly they don't dare to act on it in the audience and the situation that's going on. But as Endlin hears you, looks down from you from this upper balcony.
Yes, Skylar was about to put on one of her many well-done performances. We have a fairly good eclectic troupe of actors here at the Motherhorn who put on plays all day and night for my enjoyment. But never seen any performance from you before, so I think this might be a very grand change of pace. But I wonder if you'll be up to the task to be able to fit into the type of content we like to arrange around here.
Well, we heard, and as any great acting troupe knows, they know their audience, and so we know that you prefer tragedies, stories with a more as you are well named, as stories with bitter ends.
Oh, I can tell you about
You
my.
have heard of me.
Oh, who hasn't? Not sure what this one is, but you, yes.
Yes, the more tragic, the better. And as she says tragic, again, you're kind of seeing the silhouette of Endlin Moongrave has this long sort of protruding neck that you kind of just see the skeletal neck coming out from the black cloth. This large, almost like a priest's hat sort of visage, like it's kind of rounded at the top and slender and tall. Black design with various carriages underneath, the veil very thin. It's almost humpback sort of visage from the spine that kind of goes up and bends over. And you see two other sets of arms start to clank on the stone railing on the set of her other two arms.
Oh.
And the slender body arranging out to the carriage, and what you thought was maybe something like a old Victorian sort of carriage dress that kind of billows out, that's done in a very specific way with the stitching. As you get a closer look, with each flash of lightning and thunder that rolls, you see that it's not necessarily any kind of done by design. It's like bone, and almost looks like a series of like spider bones that goes down to the bottom of the carriage and has points at the end of it.
Yes, spider.
And as Endlin sort of looks down at you and says, the more tragic, the better, turns her head down, and a flash of thunder goes over her head, lights up the skeletal face underneath. And Moss, you have a bit of a sharp headache.
Did
you hurt yourself?
Can I do a history check? Do I recognize
Do you have a
her?
history of migraines?
I don't know. Like, do I recognize? Like, this is so specific. Her description's so specific. Do I?
As soon as as soon as you make eye contact, she locks eyes with you, and the sharp migraine sort of enters into your head, and you just kind of look down. You start to wince, and you look back up. Make a history check.
It's not a good one. No, that's an 8.
An 8. You look up at Endlin, and for somehow the two of your eyes connect, and you just get this searing pain that rattles into your brain. It goes down your spine and into your body. You're not sure why. It's just an odd sensation for a minute. It could have been the loud thunder that struck above. Could be the anxiety of the situation that's going down in front of you.
Is it because Moss is the one who lived? That's a Harry Potter reference.
The boss who lived. Come to die.
Is it because I'm a cat and like one of the things like you need a cat? I'm like
possible, but the idea that you two locked eyes and you had this sudden violent sensation for a moment is a little unsettling.
Okay, I think I'm gonna kind of like slink behind like Archeon, who's like kind of brandished his weapon, just being like, he gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I don't like it either.
So,
but I think we need to play.
You want to put on a little bit of a performance. Something tragic, something gruesome, sad.
If Skylar can join us. This portrayal, unfortunately, hinges on the fact of 2 female leads.
Then pitch me your story, my good sir. What is the through line of this little moment you're about to create?
Quincy kind of just like tightens his gauntlets and his straps and leather on him. He kind of looks at Moss and is like, just trust me, this will be good.
Something about her.
I agree. But we can't really go out swinging like that yet.
Fine.
Okay, then I follow Quincy. If you're like trying to like distinguish yourself from the group, like just kind of follow behind you then.
So I'll kind of take more center stage, kind of down center, and be like, the tale that the Monarch 4 would like to present to you all, Darkling's bitter end. Skylar.
Charmander.
We would like to. It consists of two opposing sides, the sun and the moon, both depicted by two female leads. The stars are in combat against it. They want to see who's the brightest, and who should rule the sky forever. The sun being the one who controls most of the day. The stars feel a little bit let out. So they gathered and garnered to support the moon. But the sun has one in particular warrior that will fight for her. That will be her own, the earth. And the earth is represented by, I kind of point to Archeon. I kind of put a hand on his shoulder. Big, tough, formidable, grounded. The earth will fight for the sun.
My
the
warrior.
one most respected for it. While the stars, and I point to Ebby and Lucifer, will fight for the moon. Unfortunately, we have no moon, which is why we need Skylar. Their position and acting, it will be simple. All they must do is stand on either side of the stage and command our warriors into a combat, encouraging them to fight for their glory. The winner rules the sky.
Guaranteed tragedy.
You see the skeletal finger of Endolin tapping on the stone railing above. When you start to talk about moon and sun, the tapping stops. The two arms retract into the very dome-like black funeral-like dress, and two arms are still visible on the railing. The head burrows down deep, almost like the neck is extending out towards you. Her voice goes down a couple octaves deeper as she addresses you.
I said tragic.
You have not seen the end yet.
I have seen my end many times over, and I've seen your end, and your end, and your end, and your end.
Mine's
Come
feathery.
close.
Quick perception check. How is the audience? Does the audience seem pretty interested in the story? Would they do you think they would like to see it? I know Endlin obviously does not, but do they seem intrigued by it?
They are just going off of whatever Endolin is kind of saying. They all had their, all the Darklings had their hands on their scabbards for their swords when Archeron had the axe out, and then when Archeron put it back, they all went shh and just went to go sit. You kind of get the idea that they're being told to be there. It's hard to get a sense of they're here to enjoy a show. They look like they could have been there all day under orders.
Well, so every time I go for my axe, are they going to unsheath? And just oh,
oh. Simon says,
oh, gonna stab you.
Mandolin addresses you once more.
You've been roaming around these lands for some time, half-elf, have you not? So you understand the three main rules we have here amongst Prismere. The rule of hospitality, the rule of ownership, and the rule of reciprocity. I am offering you a gift, and you are obliged to accept it and offer something of comparable value. Now, when I tell you, I want something tragic, I mean it. The gift is your very lives, so please, give me a story worthy of your existence.
Quincy kind of pales a little bit, steps back a couple feet, and looks at his friends. He's like, "What do we do?"
Would the story of how we killed your sister be tragic enough?
Was quite tragic. It was very tragic.
And I'll fumble through my bag and hold up a foot.
Do I still have her head? I feel like I still have a head.
You can reach into your bag and see what the head's like now.
Luke,
Do it.
Just like he pointed at Archeon earlier to the foot, he just goes again.
Jazz hands.
Why do I? What would I roll to see if the head is still in like a recognizable state?
So that's not
It's
your
wooden.
roll. That's for me to. Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. So
as you
I
reach into the bag, sifting through the various items and snacks and things that you've kind of accumulated over the journey here, you reach in and you feel that sort of coarse horsehair that she had on the top of her wooden witch-like face with the, deepened cheekbones, the protruding nose, the hardened eyebrows. And you go in to reach out, and the wood has now become soggy and rotted. And the eyes have sunken into the back of the sort of marionette wooden-like structure. The teeth have all but fallen out, with a couple little chitlets still involved in the upper and bottom part of the jaw. And as you pull it out, the hair strands almost fall as part of it cinches down, and clumps of it are still attached to your hair. And you see a couple little maggots just start to.
I'm wearing a bleeding bib, so this is like
currently
cool.
You are not.
Oh,
you are still in your outfit.
No, I raged and ripped it off. I put the bib back on last session.
Oh, did you? Okay,
I did. Yeah. So I'm not. My costume blew off when I raged. so much for Robin Hood.
Besides a little leaf.
It was it was just the hat. I had just
I had like a little a 5-year-old's Robin Hood costume that was too big for a bodybuilder.
So I reach and obviously feel her, and I'm like, gaze upon your future and your tragedy. I just dangle from the hair, not even for just dangle it in front of her.
Oh, yes, my sister. Poor sister. You are quite formidable, it would seem. And this is what you hope to do to me. Cut my head off, have it peruse around these lands, have things go back to the way things were, even though you yourselves have no idea how things were in the past before we took things over. Do you even know who it is you're fighting for?
If it were up to me, I would decorate my halls with your bones, witch.
I heard you can make bones into bread.
Or broth. Or weapons.
Or toothpicks.
Or more bones.
So, Monarch 4? No performance then? What is it you hope to achieve here today?
Freeing all those who you've and your sisters have so wrongfully affected.
Imminent demise.
But
Revenge.
Freedom. Sabina's freedom.
If they want a story, why don't we give them a story?
Trying, she's not taking
What
anything
story
What?
are you suggesting, Abby?
Well,
Seems a bit
what
late.
about the rotten log?
Or my childhood.
The one that was the rotten log is a tragedy, and it was portrayed to us before we got here.
I kind of
It ruined an entire forest.
I step aside, let Ebby give room for Ebby to step up if he wants.
Okay.
The monks of you kind of talk like you kind of do this little huddle, like, what story you're gonna try? I don't know. I tried a Sun and Stars thing. He wasn't buying it. And then Abby goes about there's the log, and Lucy goes, my childhood.
So Abby steps forward, and I'm not good with words, but if you want tragedy, what about a ruined forest from someone's actions?
The actions of the sisters whose head you currently hold?
No, the actions of my friend who killed someone in front of me.
The other two sets of arms clutch against the stone balcony.
Well, it was a beautiful sunny day, as most days can be.
The floodlights along the stage start to go out. And a spotlight centers onto you, Abby.
He contains his excitement as best as he can. A group of friends were just traveling. Honestly, just having a wonderful time, just trying to get to where they wanted to go. They enjoyed each other's company. They occasionally had little spats as friends do.
Act it out.
The neck protrudes out past the balcony point to your friends to enact how you're talking.
I'll just look to everyone, guys. I'll play Long Scarf. I have his agility.
Wonderful.
And I look to Lucifer. I'm like, Lucifer, make this good. Let's go.
Lucifer takes a big sigh, just pulls out both hand axes and just starts like kind of juggling them as he walks, as if he's just, with everybody kind of walking through the woods on a beautiful day.
So Moss is going to get on all fours, and she's going to use her feline agility to just like scurry off into the shadows, and then she's going to zigzag between Quincy, Lucifer, and I'm guessing Archeon is playing Ebby at this point?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. And I'm going to
or does he play Moss and Ebby plays Ebby while he narrates?
Oh yeah, that works too.
Okay.
Cat for a cat. Awesome. So then Moss is going to personally zigzag through, but then stop at Quincy's bag and pretend to rummage through it as though stealing something.
Okay. Well, they were walking through the forest and came across this wooden bridge. It was covered in fog. We couldn't see far. But arrows flew at us, and it was so sudden. I don't understand why. But our friends stood together, and they looked into the distance, and they heard the voices that were coming for them.
I'm prestidigitating kind of effects around Ebby as he's doing this. Like bits of smoke and fog and some lights and things. Yeah.
Are there torches around the arena?
There's some, yeah. You can see there's some electrical light being flooded down from the top and the rafters, and there are some wall sconces as well.
Lucifer wants to use thaumaturgy to mess with the color of the flames as Ebby's telling this story, just kind of go with the theme.
Okay.
As arrows flew towards his other friends, they defended themselves. They saw the hosts that were in their area that were causing this distress, but they pursued forward, only to come into this magnificent battle. They were outnumbered.
Moss stands there and looks over to Quincy. I can't remember his accent. It seems as though you are a bit lost here. And like flipping through like a little like silver spoon, I think. So what's you be doing here?
The friends answered in tongue of how they were on this journey, and they were getting to where they wanted to go under any means necessary, and no one was to stop them.
Well, in order to pass, you have to give us something in return, something that is precious to you.
As the friends
I already took one from one of ya, the lot.
As the friends heard this, the one's rage started to build as he saw his precious bag in the hands of his now newly found foe.
And I'll pull out my spoon and start to charge up the firebolts.
Wonderful.
Okay.
I not so fast there.
I shoot
We
a
have you
firebolt over her
outnumbered.
shoulder.
And I think
Without
I
a
like bound in the air. You know, just
You
like
do
this-
that, and it like ricochets off the wall, and the darkness go, and they like bolt out of the way. It hits one of the empty seats.
Without a hesitant thought, the shot fires at the newfound enemy.
Give me my bag back or die, you rabbit!
The
Aye,
French
temper.
the French cheer as they agree upon this moment. That bag will be theirs in moments. A fight accumulates as multiple enemies surround them and come closer. But one of their friends, the bag who was stolen from, gives no care and goes after them with fury.
I kind of slow-mo start running towards Moths.
And I start like slow motion bounding.
The others were in heated battle. One by one, they defeated their foes in the muck that surrounded them, and they sunk. Some burnt to a crisp. Rabbit was for dinner.
And then I think at this point, as I'm jumping, I fall into like the mud pit where we were both like stuck, and I start calling out, "Aye, okay, yeah, you got the best of me. Let's white flag."
The friends, after a heated battle, agreed that this shall be a white flag moment. They helped this possible new friend out of the muck. Brought him to his feet, and they walked to the top of this tall clearing in the forest that was a massive tree.
Lucifer hears possibly new friend and just makes a sour face at Abby like,
Yeah, we all kind of look at Abby like...
Like
Abby
I'm
just having the
rolling
time
my
of her life.
eyes as Quincy's held me out of the muck. I'm just like,
A little bias, but
History
yeah.
from the perspective of the victors, yeah.
I lock eyes with Archeron. No, that's not how it was. No. Don't listen to that. Real renditions later.
They make their way to the top and explain their story to the new person in front of them, this rabbit with a long blue scarf.
Well, it seems that we are at crossroads right now. You see, we do need something from each of you in order for you to pass. It's just the rules of the land.
The friends stood by what they said in the start. They will not give anything dear to them.
Then perhaps a battle.
In this
Your
moment,
strongest against me.
in the moment, the friends looked to each other and looked to the strongest as he, proudly with a smile, was daring and dazzling to go into heated combat.
Prestidigitation kind of fireworks behind Lucy.
The two began their battle with no decisions made beforehand, just a fight.
So I think I'm going to like wink at Lucifer, and I'm going to like bound around him to try and like give the illusion that as he's fighting fair, I'm not. And I'm going to like be making like stabs under his arm and like at his the dull end of my glaive at his knees so that he's like stumbling. And then I'm just like, "Aye, that was fun. Oh, you're doing so good."
In a heat of rage, the warrior of the friends rose to the challenge.
I'll create bonfire in the area behind them so it looks like they're fighting in front of a large, huge kind of like
the silhouettes of us.
silhouetted. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Lucifer shouts out to the enemy, "Going invisible was never part of the fair fight." As he's like looking around trying to spot where this enemy is.
Whoever said this fight was fair? And I'm going to like sneak up and then like push Lucifer.
The fight was heated. The tricks were in every corner. No shadow could be trusted.
And then I'm going to like stall for Lucifer to give me the strike that causes me to go down.
The courage rose in the warrior friend as he prepared for the strike to end it all.
I took my time, sensed where he was, and I struck as fast as I could.
Moss falls to her knees.
At last, I could see my mortal enemy.
I kind of go to Archtron and kind of cup my hands under his bib and get like a bunch of blood, and then I come over and sprinkle it over Moss.
En nombre de Padre.
Blood!
In the moment of telling the story, Abby starts emotionally getting back in that place that he thought he got over. He looks towards Lucifer with a very vacant face. The enemy was laying on the ground, begging for life.
Just give me another chance. This is all I know. The Bilna was not a good leader. And you are fighting for her when you don't know the whole story. Stealing is all we know. Can't you forgive us for that?
The words echoed on empty ears.
Lucifer is just like, his skin and his eyes are just glowing, feeling that same rage, knowing that this version of the story is biased to the heart of our dear friend Ebby, and knows this was not all that was weighing in it. But knowing that the show must go on, he looks to his friends just like he did on the stump, only just thinking in his mind all the reasons why he did make this choice. He looks down and he just shouts, "You've killed so many, and we do not believe for you to change, even if things were to go the way that we will. We believe your people will be better off without you." And for that, he flips his rapier and just stabs the stage right next to where Moss is.
Bonfire gets bigger.
You shall be no more.
Struck in the heart was a severance of a tie that could never be repaired.
And then fire goes out.
The life was gone, and the area around felt it harder than it could have been felt.
Kind of back into the shadows of that Ebby gold. Like
death loomed in the air for more than just the one who parted. The one whose parted friends felt no happiness, saw no future. The friends around them stood forward and looked upon the action that was put in front. The world wept in a way that no one could hear. For it was a negative act that caused a negative act. Their friend could see their friend no more.
You feel this hush over the crowd as Ebby finishes those words. The tale of someone who lost their way, asking to be forgiven, asking for mercy, and was coldly, utterly denied it. You just start to hear a series of all the darklings, and even Skylar, who's like kind of crying a little bit with a little tear going down her face, kind of reluctantly is getting up, and Endolin as well, with two sets of skeletal hands on the stone balcony, two of the other hands clapping off to one side. Need you all to roll performance checks.
To see how well we did. Yeah.
Advantage because we helped each other?
No, this is just straight roll.
I'm using the gift of a 20 that I got.
I will be using the inspiration that I had.
I actually got a 16, so.
Do I have one?
16.
I do, thank God.
I got 16. 18.
I also got 16.
We got
mediocre.
14.
Slightly above mediocre. 16's not like halfway. It's like a little bit more. Like, not
guys,
like,
we're off Broadway.
but-
Moss had an inspiration, by the way.
I had an inspiration.
You just got one.
Also, that's the
That's
first
a
time I've ever
D4,
had
right?
Yeah.
That's the first time I've had to use D&D Beyond to roll.
Hey.
I had to stop because it was it was bad.
So everyone got, it looks like everyone got above 15.
Yeah. Thank God for that inspiration. I was at a 14.
The crowd of darklings seem to be greatly moved. The error of tragedy told from this story, and Ebby, as you take your second bow, the floodlights all come back on to fully illuminate the stage, except one of the 3 floodlights shorts out and flickers. Zendalin kind of looks down. A darkling behind her appears on the balcony. You hear her, she's whispering something, but you can't quite make it out unless you'd want to try to make a perception check.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Come on, please.
Do we
please,
all
please,
try
please.
that?
Sure.
12.
17.
18.
Damn it. Okay, no. Shit. I put my hands around your ears. Nat 20!
He heard it. He heard it. He's
He
like,
heard
"What?"
it.
So as Endolin seems a bit shocked from, yeah, I can show it. Seems a shit shocked from one of the floodlights kind of shorting out. The 3 of you kind of just hear her under her breath as one of the sort of the rolling thunder has kind of quieted it for a minute. Check on one of the power sources. That's not supposed to happen.
I'm going.
And as the 3 of you hear that under her breath, being reminded that the Briganock Mines and the Koreds are also doing their own mission to try to knock out some particular lightning rods that power her contraptions here, giving you a little bit of faith that maybe, just maybe, they're on to something.
If I'm close to like Quincy, I'm going to just kind of like look at him and just kind of like look at the sky and then at the light and just like hope he understands that's good.
Can I do like an intelligence check to kind of catch that it wasn't like a broken one, it just powered down kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
That would be a 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can kind of tell by something like power kind of getting...
And with Moss edging me, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and it's not, doesn't look broken, it looks something like shorted out and went...
Mm-hmm.
Got
Okay.
it.
Cool.
With Endolin looking down above you.
Oh, that was delectable. You really have been through some tragic times. But we seem to be about to have an impasse. I would love to keep you around, telling me more sad tales of woe from your distant travels. But it seems like you've played your hand a little bit too soon. You wish to vanquish me, put me out of my misery, and give these lands the leader it has lost, even though that leader themselves is no better than us.
Everything's better than you, witch.
That is the moral of this story we shared with you. We showed our cards too soon and acted rash, and the land fell to rot. So perhaps we may need some convincing. Maybe we should meet, and I pull out the ticket to her and talk about the tragedy that Zybilna inflicted on this land and show you another play.
Lucifer whispers in Moss, another play?
We need a long rest.
Ah, indeed.
I have a story then.
I lean into you like,
If we need more time, promise her one tomorrow. Give her a show. She will have her tragedy. We will have more time.
I'm trying to buy us time.
I'm sure each one of us could have a story based on our own that can drive us enough time for whatever we need.
And if
What
I
say
did-
you, witch? Oh,
Sorry.
I was talking.
Sorry.
So you wish to stick around, tell more sad, tragic stories for my entertainment and for the entertainment of my guests and my audiences, but you've also shown that you want to destroy me. So how are we going to mend this tiny error in judgment that you have stricken upon the rule of hospitality? Why should I give you more chances to see my life end?
You said it yourself. You enjoyed our stories. We could give you more if you give us but a nice night of peace without disturbance. Room, perhaps.
Comfortable.
And I
room.
am like, my axe is like, I am being humble. It's like it's back in. I'm not being aggressive. I'm trying to be a good person.
Moss, make me a persuasion check.
Lucifer's just holding his tongue this entire time.
Like my eyes like,
Is this area, since it's still part of the Feywild, affected by heart emotion?
Oh yeah, like that all is.
Okay. I don't know if it changes anything because Abby is like reliving his energy from that moment with Lucifer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're feeling like it's kind of like bringing back harsher memories.
Yeah.
Sort of
It
the
starts
wood.
to rain.
Yeah, well, it's been kind of like light raining this whole time outside, just like lightly petering on top of you. But as that emotion kind of starts to take hold of you a bit more, the wooden stage that you're set upon, the area around you starts to kind of have this gray, rotting sort of coloration around where you stand, and slowly sort of spider webs out from under you. The thunder above gets a bit louder and a bit more roaring.
If
Wind
it
starts to pick up.
If it helps, one of the reasons Lucifer is holding his tongue is because he feels a mixture of anger and confliction, even though he, like Ebby, had felt like he had already come to peace with the decision that was made. So he's also dealing with some reoccurring demons inside at the moment as well, kind of keeping him from making commentary.
And Moss, what did you roll?
Got a 15 on the die plus 4, 19 total.
Very persuasive.
Very, very persuasive.
Your stories are very delicious. I offer you this. You tell me more sad, tragic tales, and I will allow you to spend more time in Motherhome. Your weapons will be in the hands of my servants, and no harm will come to you or your effects as long as you abide by my rules.
What rules are there?
Entertain, be a good guest, abide by the 3 rules of hospitality, ownership, and reciprocity.
May I make a comment?
We all just like turn over to Abby.
Yeah.
Everyone
just kind of is quiet.
On that note, I have some notes on that.
Looks over to you.
Yes.
This is totally out of respect. I'm new to these 3 laws, so if I accidentally do something wrong, I'm apologizing in advance, and I'll do my best to hear by them.
Well, I do appreciate your candor.
Okay, I just wanted to be open about that. Could knowing me something may happen, and I just wanted to be covered.
I'm afraid that all the rooms that we have are a bit full at the moment, but we have some holding cells that we could hold you up for. We do have another performance slotted in about 2 hours that would require your talents.
Lucifer's hiding like one of his pinkies, which is he's like focusing all of his anger into right now because he hates the idea of staying in a holding cell and the fact that their weapons would be taken because he's very close to this weapons on a weird emotional level. So he's just like focusing all of his rage so that the rest of him can just be calm.
The cell's doors stay open. You can have my weapons.
Cell doors stay open. We will have some servants nearby to make sure you have what you need as far as costumes and props. We will hold your effects in my personal quarters until your performances are done. And we can maybe, hopefully, by the end of all this, come to some sort of arrangement. And maybe I can tell you a tale of who the real Zybilna is and who it is you are fighting for.
Will you act it out? Abby says that cheerfully, like, because of the acting.
Oh, we have many actors who can act out many stories on hand.
Okay.
But a true performance would come from yourself, would it not? Would it do it justice to play your own role?
Oh,
show us what it is to be an actress.
Oh, my furry, feline, muscle-bound friend. No, I am not a performer. I am the director. And 2 of the skeletal hands reach the middle part of the dress up, and an orange light starts to shine bright. And you see 2 marionettes dangling on strings in this hollowed out sort of makeshift stage that's in her middle of her midriff, and 2 hands skeletally go under the undercarriage and hold out strings attached to the marionettes and starts to move them, and 2 of the darklings of the crowd go and stand up straight and start to mimic the movements that Endolin is doing under her carriage. These performances are for my entertainment. I am the director, I am the creator, I am the consumer of tragedy and sorrow. And as long as tragedy exists, and as long as these new sad stories come to my doorstep, I will be here, my audience will be here, waiting to enjoy them.
Give us a moment, would you?
And I like quickly like turn over like.
Yes.
We need a night.
What do we do?
We need a night.
We need rest.
If I lose this axe,
Make you another one.
I'm like pointing at everybody like, don't
lose this axe.
Lucifer leans in with all trying to say, you all know how I feel about my wares and my weapons. We have to do this right. Or I'll
you can't punch yourself out of every situation. Ooh. Fine.
I mean, I can.
I legally these are weapons. No.
Abby leans in, just blank face, like, but I am a weapon.
So yes.
Yes.
One that doesn't use itself. Okay.
And a next weapon.
I love it. Okay.
I just nod to
Okay,
Archeon.
so I turn around, I unclip the axe, I unclip my warhammer, and not happy about it, but I do just toss them onto the stage floor.
I drop my dagger with him, and my crossbow, and my sling.
Longbow,
have your-
glaive, quarterstaff.
Yeah, it's just like at the Pirates of the Caribbean, just all the weapons like coming out of all of us. Like, oh, sorry, hold on 1 second.
I kind of hold up my spoon. Can I keep this?
Hold up your spoon.
It's very special to me.
It's for eating.
It is.
She didn't see the firebolt come from it earlier during the performance.
We're just gonna
she
forget
definitely did.
that. Okay.
She looked down and said, I said everything.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a weapon. Fluffy's not a weapon.
I can break it if it makes you feel better.
Oh. I look shocked at Quincy. Just give it up. Don't break it.
Lucifer just puts a hand on Moss's shoulder, just like trust him.
So Quincy breaks it in half and kind of extra like prestidigitations that break to be extra like it was like arcanely charged. And then drops.
Make a deception check.
No, I actually broke it. It's broken.
Is it really? It's not a trick?
Yeah, no, the spoon broke.
Yeah, but did it ruin the ability for it to be a spellcasting focus?
Yes.
So you can't use it anymore for firebolt or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
But I did break it, and I drop the pieces onto the pile. But I will try to do a either deception or some kind of check to kind of keep. I want to pocket something that was still attached to the spoon.
So there's something about it that you still want to hold on hand. Okay.
Yes.
So this will you can either do deception to convince her that what you did was like, I've fully broken this and all pieces of it are useless. Or you can sleight of hand the piece that you're putting into your pocket from everyone's eyes in this room.
We'll go with deception because my dex is horrible. So 18 plus 5, 23.
It's almost a nat 20. So you break into prestidigitate loud sparks and sounds of fizzling, echoing that the magical essence of whatever this conduit is now gone. Fine. Looks down at you and just says, fine.
I'll just put it with the rest of the pile.
Abby, so go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Abby. I've got a reason just to go last.
Okay. Abby walks over and just throws his scythe sickle onto the thing. And then he just lays on the ground.
Abby, get back here.
No, I pick him up. Sorry, he's confused. He's reliving that tale just now really like made him very sad.
No. I was gonna say before you guys get Abby up, because I know he has not been a smart ass and he genuinely believes that he is a weapon. He was before you guys go get Abby, Lucifer is white knuckling all of his weapons. He walks up slowly, and it isn't like making the hard contact with her. He knows because he can't act out the way he really feels. He's just gonna be a super smart ass, and he goes, "You said everything right."
If you don't mind.
Yes, no, of course. Lucifer goes and places down very gently, while making a sly eye contact with her. His longbow, one axe taking his sweet time, another axe, his rapier, anything that could also be known as a weapon, and then starts slowly unbuttoning his shirt. He's gonna keep going until she says,
I hope you brought your gold shillings.
Magic Lucy.
Endolin just puts her skeletal hand to her face and is just like.
And Moss is so flustered.
Some of the darklings are eyes are straight, not budging at all. Some darklings are putting their hoods down over their heads. Skylar in the audience is just drooling at the side of her mouth and is just falling down to the side.
All right, okay. But he's gonna take all of his clothes off. We're done.
Archeon stops me right as I go to drop my trousers.
Okay, all right, buddy. All right. You can keep that weapon with you.
She said everything.
And then Endolin, as you stop him from pulling down his trousers, oh, now that really is a tragedy.
I can tell you. Do you ever see a Pringles can? Bigger.
Lucifer, without making a face, he goes, I suppose the show for another time, as he buttons himself back up.
Pringles can. So just to make sure, all of your weapons are currently on the foot of the stage. No one's trying to pocket anything. No one's trying to sneak anything.
All of my weapons. Yes.
No,
I apparently had a small knife. Yeah, that's there too.
No, the only thing after
Archeon. There we go.
Yeah,
you'll get it.
Atrium.
These 4:30 a.m. mornings, they're doing something to me. As Archeon stops me, the only thing that Lucifer goes, he goes, "Allow me to just," and he just scoops up Ebby. He's like, "I'm just gonna take him back."
Ebby's just like, what?
Ebby's just like still laying straight, like he's planking.
And Quincy, are you holding on to the gauntlet?
Oh, the gauntlet's in pieces at this point. Like it's no longer in.
It's on the stage as well.
Legitimate question, because it's not technically a weapon, but I have to ask: are my gloves of thievery a weapon?
They're just gloves.
Cool.
Like to her.
Can I sleight of hand put my mace into my little endless satchel there?
Well, so that's gonna be the reason we die.
So in the like while Lucy is like, I'm like, and I'm like slowly like just sliding like one of my like I have one mace with me, slowly into that little infinite backpack.
Well, I will say for sleight of hand, so
okay.
There are 30 people in the audience that are all gonna get checks to possibly detect you doing that. So I'm just saying like that is an option, but the chances of it, unless you're like a rogue with some crazy high dex stats, could be hard to do.
I have advantage on dex against effects. Against effects. It's not an effect.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well then, okay, then I'm just. That's all right. That's fine. Whatever. That's okay. I'm not gonna challenge 30 audience members to be like, is it going in the bag? No, it's okay. It's okay. My weapons are down.
I think just for honesty's sakes, I'm going to be trying to keep my wand that I got. But the way I'm trying, it's a stick. It's also just really close to my body, and I want to make a big show of dropping my longbow and the clatter of the weapons, but having no intention of touching where the wand is, because I'm a furry person, so just having it like against like my body and just making a show of these larger weapons, and even like my daggers to show like small things, but never going towards the one hip that has my wand.
Can we keep our tools?
Wand of Secrets.
As you say tools, you hear, and you have put all your stuff down on the stage. So first off, all your weapons have now gone to the stage at this point.
Just the weapons.
So I'm going to ask, as Endolin shouts out,
is that everything?
Those of you who are either trying to pocket or withhold anything that could be used as a possible weapon will have to roll a deception against her insight.
Okay.
She goes, is that everything? And Lucifer just goes,
okay. Deception 14.
11.
Please roll low.
As you all say, yes, that's everything. Yes. Moss, Quincy, both go to say, Moss, go, yep, that's everything. And Endolin kind of looks at you. And Quincy, you go, yep, that's everything. You kind of put your hands up and your sleeve kind of goes down on that gauntlet of that intricate design of the mechanism still glinting in the spotlight. Behind Endolin, this dark essence slithers up beside her. A particular silhouette that you have all seen before, of a particular shadow that eluded your grasp all the way back in the Bullywog Kingdom.
What a butt.
Lean in to Endolin.
The gauntlet as well, Quincy.
Oh, this? Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, it's just part of my outfit. I just often forget about it, and we'll just immediately just throw it on there. And as it drops, it falls into like its trinket pieces and like all of its cogs. It just kind of just like
Two of the darklings start to come up with two open bags and just
I'm memorizing the look at those bags so I can find them later.
cinch them up, put them over their shoulders, and kind of walk away past this audience stands into somewhere. They go into, you sort of just lose them, and as they go into a hallway and go into the rest of the Motherhorn.
Lucifer, while trying to keep like being just the jackass face as his weapons and all of his friends' weapons are being taken away, the right side of his eye just like quivers real hard. He's like,
well, that's better. We're all friends now, all able to keep each other on the honor system.
I told you she wanted a friend.
Lucifer just barely like elbows Akshan, just like an understanding. He's just,
yeah, me and Lucy are just like, great to be friends.
We have another performance ready to go in just a couple of minutes. So why don't I have some of my friends down here escort you to where you will be staying for the next little bit, and we will call you when your performance is needed.
Okay.
Fine.
Come down to their rooms.
The skeletal hands clank together.
Is she upset with the stage being rotted?
Doesn't, she's kind of like notices the rotting underneath the stage, and she's just, it's like you just see this sort of gleam behind the veil. This, you can't really see expressions in the skeletal face beneath it, but you get the sense that it's pleasing her, all of this darkness, all of these reactions happening. And as soon as
Lucifer gives that, just because it's for a reason, but Lucifer just gives that same kind of half-ass bow while looking at her before they're taken away.
Lucy, make me a charisma check.
Cool.
Extra large Pringles.
The snack that smacks you back.
Oh my
god! Oh, let's go! 19 plus 4 is a 23.
Nice.
D&D Beyond has been good to me today.
Don't say that's a word.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
That's awesome.
So as you've given your weapons over to the darklings, two more come over to you.
We'll show you to your rooms. Right this way.
Yes,
And
lately.
just one kind of cinches you over to the other. And on your Roll20 map, we'll say these two kind of come up over here and ask you to follow them as they begin to take you through Motherhorn. So let's see here. So as you go through a set of stairs going into a larger sort of main area of Motherhorn, taking you over to where your new quarters are going to be. A new area becomes revealed to you. The two darklings take you through the middle part of the amphitheater inside. So you're no longer outside with the rain sort of lightly hitting your skin. You start to enter into the indoors part of Motherhorn. And you find yourself walking through what appears to be a library, sort of greeted by this image of a magnificent hall that's lined with stone bookshelves. Housing a library of leather-bound tomes. You can see three elderly, bespectacled goblins climbing ladders, fetching books for three slender cloaked figures who are reading while seated in overstuffed armchairs. Cloaked figures seem to be another sort of grouping of darklings who are just kind of reading to pass the time. They kind of give you just sort of a glance over as you walk by. If you give a quick glance, you could probably see what the titles are of the books that they're reading.
Yeah, I want to do
otherwise
like
you're
an
kind of just walking past through.
I want to do either an investigation or like perception to just kind of like look at the tomes.
Sure.
Cool.
Make me that roll.
I'm gonna do that with her.
Okay.
Okay.
Investigation, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's investigation or perception?
Investigation.
Okay. Well, then that's a 15.
15, okay.
I don't know if this requires a perception check, but I have Outlander, feature Wanderer, so I have a good memory on locations and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of keeping track of like
what's around
doors,
you.
exits.
Are the
just
bags
so I
going
can-
this way?
So those two darklings came up, went down this hallway, and then just like disappeared from view.
Okay.
They kind of went ahead of you, and now these new set of darklings are taking you through the buildings there.
I got 11.
11. So yeah, both of you can kind of gleam the spines of the book and the covers that's kind of open as the darklings kind of take notice of you and just shake their heads and go back down to reading. One of the books says the title Tales from the Gloaming Court Volume 3. And the other book says Endelin's Black Books.
Black Books. Abby looks to Moss like, which one do you want to go for?
Right now?
Should
Like, I think we're being led to our rooms, but the
Sorry.
gate will be open.
I was muted. I rolled a 22 as well on that, like the investigation.
Gotcha. So you
Can
saw
I-
that as well.
Can I walk straight over to the library and be like, "Oh my gosh, books," and kind of just like look at a couple, and I'll clock the darklings and be like, "Can we bring some books to read if we're going to be in a cell?"
And
I
the
mean,
the darklings are kind of hurried up ahead of you, and there's like, come on, keep up. They don't
okay,
want
and
you
I'll-
looking around here right now.
I'll grab 2 books, and one of them
Okay.
will be the black book and the book right beside it.
Okay. All right.
I won't
Maybe
try to do it
smart
stealthily
ways.
either. I'm just like, clearly they see us here and be like, I'll grab a book. I'm gonna read a book.
We are technically in neutral terms right now, so might as well.
Yeah.
It'd be a simple
I don't see any
misunderstanding.
issues.
Quincy, roll me a d10.
A 10. 6.
Okay. You took 2?
2. Mhm.
Yeah, so roll me another d10.
Abby panics as
7.
Abby kind of panicked, just takes the one closest to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully a shiny one.
So as you quickly just steal books from the library and keep moving forward, you're being led over to this hallway here to a set of spiral staircases up here. That then takes you up 1 level.
Okay.
And as you're at the bottom of the steps, from up high, you can start to hear strange sounds, mechanical, electrical, heavy swirling, like whirling sounds, like a metal contraption going like several pendulums swinging at all different speeds, the light crackling sound of some sort of energy or electricity surging from above. And you start to go up these spiral staircases, that sound becomes louder and louder. And as you come up, you're at this point up here, just so if you look at the Roll20 map and span up, you will come up here.
Mm.
And as you look over to the hallway, that one spans out here, one goes down to a hallway of two double-setted doors. You overlook this massive golden contraption.
Oh. Moons.
And
Abby just starts getting excited.
That's more like it.
Lucifer sees these things and goes to reach for his like hand axes, just like excited and just.
So as you come up this hall, up these spiral staircases, you see this massive golden metallic contraption swirling about. You notice that this cylindrical chamber houses a whirling contraption bolted to a revolving metal disc that serves as its base. Metal spheres and sickles are attached to the ends of long metal arms that sweep back and forth, clicking loudly and rhythmically like the hands of a giant metronome. The apparatus is inlaid with characters from strange alphabets, and smoky wisps in the shape of these letters rise from the contraption as it revolves. The whole device hums and crackles with lightning. Rising from the middle of the mechanism is an 80-foot tall copper pole made of an 10-foot long lightning rods attached end to end. It extends upwards past a ring-shaped gallery that forms the chamber's upper level, through a hole in the 50-foot high domed ceiling. You can also briefly just see 3 goblins wearing overalls and tinted goggles, using brooms to sweep the floor, seemingly untroubled by the noise, and a pair of them kind of inspecting like a part of the contraption that seems to be a bit lighter or a bit darker in coloration than the others. You can sort of just whispering something. They're just whispering something to them, and they look very interested and intrigued in the contraption, like something had happened.
I clock that.
But as you kind of all are passing this and seeing this through the hallway, you don't go towards this machination, but go to the left. As the Darklings enter you into what will be your new quarters.
Conveniently close.
The Darklings accompany you all in. Ebby and Lucy's minis up here. The Darklings open the doors for you.
This is where you'll be staying until we're able to come and find you for your next performance. There are beds here for you to rest. Pick whichever ones are more suitable for you.
Abby looks around and sees the 4 doors like, well, some of us has to cuddle.
When's food? We'll be getting soup or something.
I'm very hungry.
We'll see what we can do to make sure our performers have high energy and are well fed. Oh, you asked for the doors to be open.
And they go in. One of them has this giant keychain, the multiple keys on a giant ring. Opens up the cell doors, which are barred. This seems to be some sort of prison dorm of some kind, but they unlock all the prison doors and open them all.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Rest well. Your next performance will be in about an hour and a half's time.
Okay.
Won't we get to see other performances for motivation or inspiration, I should say?
You need your rest as you requested.
Longer than an hour.
I do want to see one of Skyla's performances. Are we able to push back our performances to see another one of hers since we're missing it right now?
Endelin's schedule, and you see the eyes brighten on the elder, is very strict, and there are 20 shows a day that we all have to watch and be very happy to see them.
Insight.
So, no. Yeah, go for it.
Insight. I'm surprised mine's really high. I didn't roll well though. I got an 11.
This person is not lying. They look like their eyes are bloodshot. They look like they are forced to withstand many of these shows per day. And the amount of supplies and backdrops and props that you saw from the lower levels kind of pertains to the fact that lots of shows get put on here for her entertainment. So there's probably like a new show happening every hour for like day to night.
Lucifer sneaks into one of the, not sneaks, he just walks into one of the cells just to lay down, just to try to recharge as much as possible. Because he needs some health back.
And the two Darkling Elders say, "We will come get you when you are ready."
Just
and they leave the two sets of doors here. Close the doors behind them. And you hear a
well.
God,
I don't think
I will push on the door a little bit, just like cluck, 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 cluck.
Oh, I should have specified more doors open.
Lucifer from his cell was like, yeah, you should have.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I have a book.
Stripping. Hey, wait. Did you, what, Lucifer? What were you trying to do there? Excuse me. What did you expect to accomplish?
Lucifer's still just like on his cot in this one cell. He's just like, I was pissed. I couldn't be pissed, so I decided to be an asshat instead. It was just for show. I was just acting out, but without getting us killed.
Interesting.
Fair enough.
Lucifer's just like laying on his bed, like almost like a summer camp, just like trying to get some rest, but also wanting to answer his friends. He's just like, I just wanted to be angry. I wanted to I wanted to throw something. I wanted to kill someone, but I couldn't, so I decided to be a jackass instead.
That's fair enough. I want to look at my books too.
He's just gonna go ahead and try to close his eyes to take a short rest for as long as one as he can.
Are we taking a short rest?
We can't take a long one right now because it needs in an hour, right?
No.
Unless we plan to do something maybe specific in the next hour, we could take a short rest.
Is anyone pretty badly? Like a short rest won't fully max you yet?
So you guys do have your hit die healing.
Right.
That you can use your pool of hit die that's at the top of your sheets there. The hit die mechanic is for you to use for short rests. It should say like 3d10 or something to that effect at the top of your sheets.
We just can't regain any spell slots.
I just want a long rest to see if I leveled up.
I'm so sorry. I don't see it on my sheet. I see. Do I just hit the short rest one?
Yeah, hit short rest and it'll pop up.
So say like how many hit die do you want to use? And the benefits of using a little or a lot of them is like, say you're doing long overland travel, but you're not able to take like long rests. You know, maybe you just want to use like 2 out of those, or maybe, you know, you only need 20 points of healing and you have 4d10 hit points, but you roll 2 of them and get 10. So you're like, okay, I only need to use half of them. I don't need to use all of them, because the hit die is only replenished at a long rest.
Okay.
So you can't just keep, you know, short resting and reusing them. They're a bit finite. But for the situations where you can only short rest, that is a way that you can try to heal a good amount.
We're essentially only getting the healing back and nothing really else.
Because Lucifer's at a.
I kind of want to be tip top though.
Yeah, absolutely.
26 out of 46, and as of right now, using a second wind would only give him 1d10 plus 6.
Don't use the second wind. Don't use your
Correct.
second wind.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Um.
And then how do we choose the number of hit die? 1d10 plus 1. Or is that per hit die?
Yeah, so like you can on there'll be a number of how many you have, and then just click on how many, and then in the bottom it'll say 3D blah 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 4 if you choose to use 4. I'm gonna use 3, so I'm gonna take a hot nap.
Hit dice heal.
Okay.
Oh, I've got a total of 6.
Yeah, so you could use all of them if you want.
Now, question for the DM. So mine says 1d12 plus 3. I'm using 3, so now it says 3d12 plus 9. So I just add that 9 afterwards after adding all 3. Okay.
Yeah, you guarantee that 9.
See, I'm taking a nap.
All right.
Lucifer will use 3d10. Oh. He doesn't. Yeah, he's gonna use 3 as well, just because he'll leave 3 left.
I want to look over Quincy's shoulder and start doing some research because my health is fine. I wanted to try and buy us enough time for potentially getting back spell slots.
Okay.
I am back to full health. I got 27 in total.
Good.
Nice.
I still have 8 temp hit points. Am I botching that?
Let's go away.
Those have been worn out.
Cool. That's okay. I just want to know. There we go. Cool.
Okay, so with the 2 books that Quincy got and a book that Ebby got, so Quincy, you start looking those over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one is this one is like this. There's a black one that doesn't really have any writing on it.
Mm-hmm.
Except it just has Endolin like sort of handwritten on the cover in like this nice like silver sort of inlaid graphic. It's about 8 inches tall, 3 inches wide, spineless, black wooden cover. Yellow pages seem to be held together with copper wire. There is an image of an hourglass that's burned to the front of the book. And carved in the wood is a smaller symbol that represents a chicken's foot.
Okay.
And you start to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
So make me a investigation check.
Not very good. 10.
Okay. So going through this book, it seems to be a part of many, many volumes in that library, because a lot of them were, there was not like that quick glance that you guys saw. There wasn't like a bunch of varied, colorful books. A lot of them looked really similar. Like a lot of them had the same colorations. And this one has a volume number on it that said 22. And as you're reading it, you're understanding that this is part of a massive collection that was used to record possible futures and glimpses into what may come to pass from the Orrery of Tragedies. The book refers to the Orrery of Tragedies, the description of it, as the mechanical machination that you just witnessed. And the accounts that you look through seem to be written by Endolin herself as rhymes in Elvish script.
Okay.
Throughout these records, you kind of get the sense Endolin acknowledges that not every future she glimpses comes to pass. For any possible future can be possibly negated by another, that kind of thing. And the book doesn't mention anyone specifically or anyone that you would recognize in accounts of these futures. Most of the accounts speak of individuals who are probably long dead. Many of them probably victims of the tragedies of their own making. And as you spend a little bit reading, how long do you want to read this book? Because you've got your hour and a bit to rest.
I do. I don't need the short rest. I needed spell slots, so I will take the full time to investigate both of these books to see what I can glean from it. So 45 minutes a piece.
Okay. So let's just say for brevity, as everyone's sort of resting, doing their own thing, you spend about an hour going through these texts. You find 3 verses that pertain to Endolin. Pertaining to Endolin, someone called Achaidh. and the Hourglass Coven.
Okay.
The first passage you find reads, "All I've wrought shall come undone when the moon blots out the sun."
Okay.
And the second one, "The sweet treachery we three have wrought. Would Igwilv forgive us? Ha, I think not."
Okay.
The third one is a bit longer. "Time was our ally, standing beside us, giving us that which Mummy denied us. But now I feel its hands turn cold and see its second sight unfold. The hourglass broken, the sisters three, meeting our hellish destiny. Bav and Scab will never know that time has always been our foe."
Interesting. I relay that to anyone who's listening.
I am.
Yeah.
And there's another one that pertains to Scabatha, but you might know what this one's referring to. "Every morn when Scabatha rises, the one first seen by her waking eyes is swiftly forgotten, like some fleeting swain, and shan't be remembered till she sleeps again."
Yeah, we knew that one already. Too bad she's already dead.
And then for Ebby,
Mhm.
the other book that you gleam is an account, a rough biography of Zybilna.
Okay.
How long do you want to take to read this book? Basically, if you need a short rest, you would be foregoing your short rest to read the entire book. Or you can peer into a little bit of it and do your short rest.
I don't need a short rest. All I need is spell slots.
Okay.
That I can give you if you need. I have I have, where are you here? Something that can help you with that.
Will they be permanent or will they?
No, I have bolstering magic. Roll a d3. The creature regains one expelled spell slot, the level of which equals the number rolled or lower. Creature's choice. Once a creature receives the benefit, that creature cannot receive it again until after a long rest. And I have 3 of them. Wow. So technically, if you guys need spell slots, I can go boop, 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 and you guys have spell slots. So I'm just taking a whole cat nap over here. So
I kind of put a paw on Archer and I'm like, whoever you give it to, make sure they use it.
Give it to Moss first, if anything.
To be determined and discussed.
Okay.
So for you, Abby, as you're going through your book, you start to go through this brief history of Zybilna. So roll me an investigation check.
$18.
The tale that you start to read begins by telling the tale of a figure that you have already come to know as Baba Yaga, someone that Quincy saw in a portrait room in Scabatha's hollowed out tree home. Quincy knows Baba Yaga to be an incredibly powerful dark mage and arch fae who has many, many tales and histories and stories written about them, sometimes friend, sometimes foe, sometimes somebody who also takes in favors and twists them into her own little desire. This story is not about Baba Yaga, but about her daughters. Specifically, Zybilna being one of those daughters. And that Zybilna's story is a long one throughout history and throughout the multiverse. And her path to greatness began when she was adopted by the mother of all witches. But her name was not Zybilna at the start of this tale. The name she was given by Baba Yaga was Natasha. or what her name is known on other material planes, Tasha,
Oh my god. Okay.
the inventor of spells as Tasha's hideous laughter, and other machinations as well. Natasha's magic-fueled ambitions has brought her into many legends and lore throughout the many, many years of her on the material planes. Sometimes it brought her into contact with demons and demon lords, which she subjugated and used against her enemies. Tasha then became known on the world of Orith as Igwilv, the Witch Queen, a peerless wizard and conqueror. And it was she who wrote a very infamous tome that you may not have actually heard before, Ebby. But reading this book, you get at least the name of what this tome is. The Demonomicon of Igwilv.
Should I do a history check?
Well, the book goes into a little bit of history.
Okay.
Not very detailed, but that this book, this tome, was a part of the greatest of all treaties on the Abyss and its demonic inhabitants. And that's about all you can glean from the time that you read before you start to feel tired for your rest.
Okay. So Abby just remembers the page where it was, and seeing that there's only 4 rooms, he decides to go into the corner here to rest.
Do you mention what you read?
Yes, he does. He looks to everyone who is around and reiterates the things that he learned, specifying about Zybilna, her name, and her mother, and going through all the rest of the details, highlighting the Demonomicon as well. And then explains that there is more to the story that he hasn't had a chance to read yet, but he will when he gets a chance.
Lucifer, hearing the name of the Demonomicon, want you to roll history at advantage.
Ooh.
I have to be honest and say that Lucifer's been sleeping.
Okay. You want to hear it?
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
I gotta be honest, guys.
Good. Can I do a history check on whatever you said? See if I know anything else with it.
Sure, go for it.
Abby, tell me when I wake up.
Abby gets this sense and feeling he has to tell.
All my practice rolls were great, and that one was poop. 9.
Yeah, the only this book, this artifact, the Demonomicon, is something you've heard as a fairy tale. You didn't think this thing actually existed. Some sort of powerful tome that was a part of some expansive treaty documenting the Abyss's infinite layers and inhabitants. That can't exist, can it? It seems like it was.
So Abby then gets into the corner, and he gets set up for his little ritual he does before he sleeps. But this time he does it a little bit different, because usually he does this when he's walking around. But he pulls out one of his last jars of honey that he's been carrying around, and he holds it in both his hands. When he looks at it, so I have to roll for this part. And when he looks at it, he starts to smile, and all that dark energy and feelings he had from the stage gone, or completely gone. He opens the lid and just sets it between his legs, and then puts his hand over the flower bracelet he has and clones a petal and places it into the honey. It seeps in and stops and sits right in the middle, and then he closes it off and just smiles, thinking, as he always has every time he's been with his honey and his jars, just happiness. And then he puts it away, and then he goes into his little rest.
Okay. As you're sitting down your jars of honey, Quincy's sitting up reading this book that they have. And Lucy fast asleep. Arcturion also passing out. Moss, was there anything that you wanted to do?
I was kind of listening or reading over Quincy's shoulders, but I think Moss is a bit dazed, having felt that weird sharp pain from Zybilna and not really knowing what to do with that interaction. I think she's a bit scared to go back out on stage. So she's not resting, but she's definitely just kind of like looking over Quincy's shoulder.
Okay. As Quincy goes over this book of various Angelin future glimpses, you are short resting, Moss?
I'm not sleeping, if that's the question. Short rest doesn't have to be sleeping, right? You can just be like not doing anything.
Yeah, you're kind of just relaxing.
Okay. Yeah, yep, then I'm doing that.
As you're sitting there, as you're kind of reading over Quincy's shoulder for this book, the other book that they have is beside them. You could either take a look at that one if you wanted, or just, yeah,
I'll look it up.
All right. So this one is another volume from the Tales of the Gloaming Court. It's a hefty green covered tome with a withered frog stitched into its spine. The frog seems to like be almost soft and plastic, like you could touch it. Like the spine seems to like be a bit soft. As you stroke it, you cause a frog to croak. The book's title in Elvish.
Huh.
And you just open it?
I don't know Elvish, so I don't know if Quincy's deep in the book that he has right now, if he can like understand, because it croaks in Elvish, right? That's what you said?
Yeah, it says the tale of the book.
Oh,
the Tales
okay.
of the Gloaming Court, Volume 4.
Then yes, I'm going to open it.
All right. Make me a dexterity check.
I can do that. Okay. 15 plus 3, 18.
18. As you go to open it, the pages inside seem to be very musty and rotten. All of the ink and all of the paper has kind of dusted and sifted away. But as you open the spine, a small vial slips out from the spine of the book, and you catch it before it falls on the ground.
Oh, I inspect it.
Make me a medicine check.
Oh. Okay. Please be good. Oops. 16 plus 2, 18.
In your time being a monk enforcer,
Yeah.
back when you were sort of training with your tribes, you've had to, as a team, take on some various nefarious creatures and monsters that would sift into your lands from time to time. One of them being a horde of mummies, a mummified undead. They came strolling through your town like a wave of zombie corpses. And you recall that a particular poison could be extracted from the corpses of these dried up mummies, known as mummy dust. It is a form of poison that is created during a mummy's embalming process, distilled from the dead creature's removed organs. Throwing this fills a 10-foot radius sphere centered wherever you throw it. And the dust can kind of spread around corners quickly. Whoever is within that 10-foot radius, they'll have to make a Constitution save, DC 12, or be cursed with mummy rot.
Oh.
A cursed creature this way cannot regain hit points, and its hit point maximum decreases by 10 for every 24 hours that elapse.
Oh my god. Okay.
Con save of 12, DC 12, and then 10 hit points every 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
I actually have a poisoner's kit, as a matter of fact.
Or sorry, not 10, 3d6.
Oh, okay. Doop. Wow, okay. And so I have the vial. The book is so like rotten, I can't read anything in it. Okay.
Just dust kind of falls down. Some of the pages just fall out, and that vial kind of heard a bit of a clink in the glass, and you just caught it really quickly before it fell on the ground.
Okay. I think whoever is awake and reading books, I'm gonna be like, hey guys, I found this. So it's pretty potent and powerful stuff. It's called mummy's dust, and it's I wouldn't say it's rare, but it's definitely hard to get.
What's it do?
Basically throwing this at someone produces a radius where it causes mummy rot on a person if they have poor health.
Okay.
And it afflicts them for how long?
They basically they keep losing their hit point maximum decreases every day until they either do remove curse or get rid of it.
Okay, until they're able to successfully remove this curse.
Okay. What does mummy rot do again? It just decays them?
So it mechanics wise, it lowers it. They can't regain hit points, so they can't heal while they're cursed, and their hit point maximum reduces by 3d6 every day.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. Crazy. Wow. It'd be a nasty tea, I tell you that. Definitely keep that. A nasty.
Nasty.
So as you all are kind of sitting down to rest and getting ready for the next performance, Quincy quietly going through the book, Ebby, Arcturion, Lucy start to settle down and just prepare themselves for what's coming ahead. Moss, you kind of sit down looking over this vial, and you slowly start to hear a creeping sound coming from the back of your head. It sounds like water crashing. Like water hitting sand on a beach, ever so slowly.
I think
You start to smell sea salt in the air.
I think at first Moss gets kind of nostalgic, thinking that this is like the shore of her island of Mystica, and she's like trying to associate this random call with like potentially this vial in her hand. She's wondering if these two are connected in any way, and I don't know if there's like a check I can do or anything, but she's gonna pocket the vial instead of giving it off to someone else.
Absolutely.
But she doesn't tell anyone
All right.
what she hears.
And you get a slight flashback, silent, of rushing image from that same dream that you had a few days ago, being on a gray and lit up shore, holding someone in your arms, and the face looking up at you saying, "Run." And it's there. We're going to take a small break for like 5 minutes because you got a lot of story to go through. And when we come back, the short rest will be done and we'll move on to the next part of our story, everybody. So we'll just take like a quick 5-minute break just to refill the drink, little pee break, stuff like that. And we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere.
Hello, everybody!
Every time from now on.
Yes, amazing.
I was gonna say
Welcome back, everybody!
that's my shtick, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, first point, yes.
Yeah, first point. Yes. I gotta get shirts made with all my sayings on them.
I know.
But sorry, guys, it took a little bit longer than 5 minutes because it happens. We're friends and we like to chat. So we are gonna get back to it here on Wild Beyond the Witchlight, with the Monarch 4 finishing up their long rest in their allotted prison cells in Motherhorn. So, as the rest of you have taken some time to relax, read some books that you swiped, settle down for the last hour or so, Moss hearing some strange crashing of water on beaches, a slight whisper of a voice saying, "Run." You all look and just see Moss kind of just staring off to the distance and her eyes kind of wide. What would you all like to do?
What play are we gonna do now, guys?
Abby stands
Very
up and just
dazed.
walks over to Lucifer. It's like something in my soul told me to tell you this, and reiterates the Demonomicon to him.
Something in my soul.
Lucy, roll history check at advantage.
Okay. Rolling. Just waiting for be beyond.
Rolling.
Hey,
Rolling. Ooh.
how's a 9 for you?
Oh.
With advantage?
At advantage?
Yeah, I got a 6 and a 9. Hey, yo.
I saw 15.
Wait.
I
Good.
saw
Rolled a
15
6
pop up.
plus 9 is a 15.
Correct. I rolled 2 at once. And I was going to pick the higher one.
Oh.
What's your history
Oh.
plus?
It would have added it.
Plus
saw-
1.
I saw 15 pop up in my screen.
No.
when
Oh
you
wait.
rolled.
Click history on your screen with the +1 instead of rolling dice.
Nah. Oh, 14. Nope, that's a medicine check.
Sorry, I did the history to show him.
Oh, sorry.
So there's a 14 on your first
14.
roll.
And you have an inspiration.
I was going to call it an honesty thing, but we'll leave it be. So a 14.
Okay, 14. So, as Abby tells you, the strange tome that's described in this sort of biography about Zybilna, you, Lucy, know this book because your father was there when this book was created.
Of course he was.
And so this tome, this artifact, it was a part of a treaty that documents the Abyss's infinite layers and inhabitants. It's the most thorough and blasphemous tome of demonology in the multiverse. The tome recounts both the oldest and most current profanities of the Abyss and demons. You recall that demons have attempted to censor the text while sanctions have been ripped from the book's spines. The general chapters remain ever revealing demonic secrets. Encaged behind the lines of script roils a secret piece of the Abyss itself, which keeps the book up to date no matter how many pages are removed, and it longs to be more than mere reference material. So it's a very, very powerful, corrupting tome that has access to many various spells and histories of the demon underworld.
Okay.
So you recognize it and kind of relay that back to Ebby if you so choose.
Ebby, does this have ties to anyone in particular? I know this book well, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you know.
The names I remember are Tasha and Igwith and Zybilna and Baba Yaga.
And all of these names are tied into this book.
Yes.
Do you know how? In what fashion were they attributed to this?
Let me just read here to make sure I'm saying it right. Talking about how Zybilna is the daughter of Baba Yaga, who is named Tasha, and her story began when she was adopted by the mother of all witches. And
so, Lucy, you know the name Tasha. She was a friend of your father's, and they came to a sort of understanding as her power grew and was able to basically use demons and demon lords as her personal playthings, was able to subjugate them and use them for her nefarious schemes, was able to trick them into being under her servitude, and was able to really shake up the demon world. And she was the one who wrote the Demonomicon as a way to barter a treaty between the Abyss and other demonic entities, because there's several layers of Avernus, sort of as the 9 hells. There's 9 realms of hell. And this book was created as to make sort of peace between these warring factions during something called the Blood War. So you don't know who Zybilna was before this, but you know stories of who Tasha was, and that legend and lore of this unwavering arcane conqueror of demons and demonic entities is something that kind of puts you off a little bit.
So if I understand this correctly, Sir DM, Tasha writing this book during the Blood Wars was meant to create peace. Was ultimately her efforts for good, or with the controlling demons and such, was it for evil and not good things?
She would use the power of demons and put them under her control to do things in her favor. She used them to overpower enemies, to people who stood in her way, and that you and the devil, or her and the devil, basically your father, were at odds with each other.
They were at odds with each other.
Mm-hmm. He is the demon lord. He is the demon king. He did not appreciate how she treated his kin as playthings, and there was a bit of a truce sort of arranged between the two of them. And she was able to summon demons and demonic spirits, studying the Abyss, and learn dark secrets about it. But her quest for absolute power was too great, and she made way too many enemies, and underestimated their determination to destroy her. One of these being your father, that ousted her from the material plane, and she disappeared, and no one ever heard from her again.
So ultimately what you're saying is that she was so bad that even my demon king father had to out her to keep balance in the world.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Abby, interestingly enough, this Tasha person who I've never heard of before, I know of her. I don't know her ties. So you have to let me know if there's any ties into any other characters with this Tasha person. She was not good. Let me just say that my father was a bad being, an evil thing, and treated me, his only son, like trash. However, even he tried to keep balance in this world and keep his demon kin under lock and key, but in a way that was, some would argue, fair. Long story short, she was so evil, decrepit, and bad, and hungry for power that even he had to ban her from the material plane. So that tells you how bad this human being was, this creature, this thing, this entity was.
Abby holds up the book and scrolls through the pages, stopping just before the part where he left. It's like, the book says that Zybilna is this person you're talking about.
Team? Monarch 4, 5, Monarch 4 plus 1?
Aye.
Well, Abby, our very beautifully feathered friend, just let me know that this person, Tasha, in this book, that he grabbed whilst I was sleeping, as apparently the exact same creature character entity as Zybilna, the person we're supposed to be saving, releasing XYZ. Tasha was initially a friend of my father's. The Demon King, someone who was so evil and terrible that he treated his only son, trying to make me strong, understandably, and he did, in ways, but emotionally weak, whatever, we'll talk about it later. He was bad, but he even tried to keep balance amongst the material plane, the demon world, if ands or buts not included. He banned her from the material plane because of how bad and power hungry and evil she was. She got so bloodthirsty over power that she would destroy and kill anyone in her way to gain power. So to tell you that my father, the Demon King, who I do not have any love for, that I speak about, banished her from the world to keep peace and keep balance. The largest red flag that you can tell me, and you know I love the color red. This is something we should talk about immediately.
Abby, did you want to continue to read the book about Zybilna?
Yes.
If you'd like to read it out loud, Abby, please do.
I would love to, in the voice of Kevin.
All right. So make me another investigation.
Oh, someone says there's an open inspiration there, so this is low. I'm taking it. Please. Oh, I don't think I'll need it. 19.
Ooh. So as you continue to read on from where you had sort of left off before you sort of took a little bit of rested your eyes for a little bit. As you keep scrolling, you read this part about her kind of being banished and being that she fled to other worlds across planes to escape the worst of the enemies that she had kind of accrued. You go on to read that she eventually took a page from her mother's book and eventually sequestered herself in the Feywild, where she assumed the guise of an archfey and carved out a particular domain for herself that she called Prismere. And over time, gradually, the entity known as Igwilv, Tasha, slowly transformed into a fey creature. And though she outwardly appears human, her disposition changed over time as well, as she became less interested in personal power and more interested in exploring her fey existence. So painting this picture that Zybilna's past was a dark one, but in trying to run away from it, inadvertently created this new identity for her in the Feywild, creating this new domain that she ruled. And that was eventually governed with the Hourglass Coven under her. And then the Hourglass Coven betrayed her and took over.
So from what we know, everyone we've talked to says that Zybilna was a better leader than the Hourglass Coven. Now, many people have dark pasts and can change and do better. How do we feel knowing that this person has an extremely dark past, was betrayed by people that were meant to be her underlings, and we are now currently being paid on a mission, have already killed a few of these Coven's underlings to try to save? Do we feel that she has changed and done enough good in this place that it is worth continuing this? As if we have not invested our very lives and beings and everything into this. How are we feeling based on the current balance of things?
For myself,
go ahead.
For myself, I have no ties to Zybilna other than the fact that this is a task that was given over to us. Mixed feelings has come from each side of the fun path we've walked on. Some saying she was just a tyrant as it is through this, because one thing I've remembered was if it wasn't Zybilna's way, it was no way. And that alone has always questioned in my mind.
I came here for a witch's head. I will leave with one.
What if I drew a picture of a witch's head and gave it to you? Would that help?
He already has one. Unless he left
I want more
for my collection as I pull out the squishy skull.
I will
and
draw
it's even more
3.
decayed now. It's like slopping off. Like, look, it looks like my boob.
Abby pulls out a paper and Cuillin just starts drawing 3 witches' heads.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's up to us at this point now when we have so many people relying on us to fulfill what we said we would do.
Go ahead, Moss.
I think that we should continue to go and find Zybilna, but ask for clarification on their newfound identity and what they plan to do with their ruling. Like you said, people have dark pasts and make mistakes, but if we're able to secure a better future for the Feywild past the Hourglass Coven, we have done good. And maybe we can ask that Zybilna make up for her mistakes and change her form of power or way of governing.
In terms of reciprocity, we could invoke the rules that she set up and have her change to it. Because if that's the way she wants it ruled, that's the way she has to keep it up. But at the same time, like, Zybilna doesn't sound like the nicest person in the world, but their reputation does span a lot, and I know a bit of Tasha and her history, and it's not always evil, it's just more chaotic.
And trust me, I love chaos, and we've invested so much. I do not want to stop on our path until at the very least the Hourglass Coven have been removed in whatever way, shape, or form we need, as the majority of creatures in the Fae that we've spoken to have been positive for the most part.
I think with the Korads and the Brigandocs risking their lives for us right now, I think we should follow through with what we said we were going to do.
I would very much like to, at the very least, have our own kind of conversation with Zybilna.
I agree.
And go from there.
And to remind you guys, you did tell the Korads and the Brigandocs that you would give them a signal should you want their aid for help against taking Motherhorn.
Mm-hmm.
When that is completely up to you, of course.
We need our weapons and a long rest.
I need a weapon.
I did roll for this, so I have to say it. Abby says something out of a very hollow place, saying, "What if there was no Zybilna or Hex?"
Abby, you are not going to be the ruler of the Feywild. I
don't want to be the ruler of the Feywild. I just
it worked.
The throne would be
Where's your
empty.
stick?
never know my plans.
Let's see. So go ahead.
I was just saying, if it's just, why does someone have to rule a place? This is also coming from his Arakra mindset, so that's just from there.
Lucifer says, "Well, though we have agreed to disagree on the Herringongs, if you remember the way that Longscarf, even though he's stated to be under the rule of the Coven, the way that he treated other creatures and beings and other tribes around him, that would be similar, I would imagine, to having no ruler whatsoever. Tribes would try to power up and create a ruler, which would only unfortunately create either wars or more chaos or what have you."
Okay.
Archeon, like, not like lightly by any means, but I punch the stone wall.
Ask whatever you want, but my mother and sister are dead, and I will have my trophy. With or without you. Do what you must.
You also have a little bit of time. This is just me being DM Kevin, just reminding you of some options. You have a little bit of time until the Darklings come back here to get you for your performance. You may be in a locked room, but you could attempt to break out.
Did they bring us food?
Not yet.
They didn't bring us no bowl of soup.
That's why I'm angry.
I need to replace my spoon. I'm hoping they would give me a bowl of soup with a wooden spoon. That's all I need. DM, make it, please. Please.
Demands and then asks politely.
I'll start banging on the door.
Like, hey,
Wait.
We
We
need
are
our
hungry.
soup.
Excuse me. Where's Star in all of this?
Oh dang!
I only
They
asked
said
because-
we needed soup.
Don't you dare!
Oh, Star
I
Star
will
is
roast you on a
Star has been
spit.
with you, just like hanging on your shoulder and like, you know, on
Okay.
your person.
Do I still have
Yeah, where's
oh my
where's-
god, the name
Dandelion.
Armador.
Yeah, Armador. Armador is still with me.
You just like, muffled him. Muffled him.
I completely forgot. Where's my Armador?
Where's your
my little
gingerbread
buddy?
man?
Where's my gingerbread buddy? I will find him.
Yeah, Armador has just been kind of sitting quietly. The little rapier that they had was also thrown into the pile of weapons, the little toothpick blade. Yeah.
Like a
So while
cocktail
you're up
sword.
there doing the performance, they just went limp and just looked like you just pinned like a normal flower to your chest.
Oh, Arador.
I love him.
But so you do knock on the door, try to get someone's attention.
Yeah. I'm gonna start banging the door, not demanding, but requesting food.
Are we gonna
All
try
right.
and ambush them or no?
Also, Lucifer can only misty step to a place that he can see, right?
Yes.
Oh no, I threw a fist.
Even if you saw it before but cannot see it currently.
You can't misty step through walls,
But there's a hallway.
but once you have the door open, you can misty step into the hallway that you see.
Can I seduce the door?
Turn into a
Oh
beaver.
my
Now
God.
can I do
You can certainly try. But
Oh,
as that loud bang goes,
Is the door
up,
locked?
Archeon, let me in. Yeah, it very much is locked.
I attacked the door.
You hear someone go, yes.
We are hungry for food. You
were promised-
requested it earlier.
We'll promise food for strength for the show. If we're not properly strengthened, we'll tell on you.
Zabil, no, sorry.
We're gonna tell the bitter end. You get to give us soup.
She's gonna be
Lucifer's
mad.
Lucifer's shirt is halfway unbuttoned as he's like up against the door.
Please, he's
Just the
undressing.
Quincy, make a persuasion check.
At advantage, because I'm not there.
Sure.
Oh,
With all of you helping.
yes, please.
That face, Quincy.
Not Lucy.
Not Lucy.
16.
16. Okay.
Someone is coming up to give you some provisions before your performance.
Make sure they have a spoon.
Yeah, we need utensils.
We're not animals.
Please.
Hey,
All right.
Basically an animal.
We're not dogs.
Your performance time is in 15 minutes, so eat fast.
And you hear footsteps go, step away from the hallway. A couple moments pass.
All right.
As the door opens, Abby investigates the door handle and lock.
For what?
Just to see what they are. See if it's a key lock or if it's a
Yeah,
bar lock.
it's his key going into lock
okay,
outside.
okay. Abby just needs to know.
Yeah.
Who's got the best sleight of hand?
So they come inside and just have various sort of, it's kind of like a weak, meager, like mushroom cream soup of some kind.
Sweet.
From whatever kitchen there could be in this place. It's a bit lukewarm. A little bit of spices, nothing too crazy. So they come in with this platter of multiple bowls, all with spoons, coming down and laid down from you.
All right. Eat up. You're up in 10 minutes.
Lucifer's like, you sure you want to leave so soon?
Not my thing, pal.
Before
The
person wa-
darkling puts his arm over the other darkling.
We have each other for that.
Before they leave,
really
Abby's like, it's only because I've been through this situation before and I wasn't really comfortable. There's no bird in this. The last place I went to, like serving bird, and I don't know if there's gonna be a bird in this one too.
Bird in the
Yes, the
soup.
last person that served us bird I ate.
This is a vegetable soup. There's
Ah,
no
okay.
meat around here.
There's no meat in this.
As I like lean forward just a little bit.
Evie puts one of his rations into Argon's bowl.
Oh,
We'll be back. They just kind of look at you a little perturbed, like, we'll be back in 10 minutes. Eat quick. And they start to close the door.
Says, three is not a problem, it's a party.
Oh, can I just put the foot in the door?
Make a dexterity check.
Dexterity.
When the door closes, is it fully sealed, or is there like
19.
a thing underneath it, like a space?
There's a little bit of space.
Okay.
But the Darkling's going to shut the door, and kunk, it hits Arctreon's foot.
Excuse me.
Oh. No need to lock the door. I just have to use the washroom, and we might as well leave it open. If you're going to be back here in, what would you say, 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
I peek my head out. You don't want to clean up after Leon, and it's a big one. You might need a shovel.
I don't want to really knock anybody out with this.
The methane! The methane!
Make a persuasion at disadvantage.
Disadvantage!
Sorry.
Okay, so that's 14 or 11 was the disadvantage. It's 11. I got 50-50. Oh, would you get 11? Did you get 10?
That is an 18.
Oh. Oh, there it is. There it is. I don't know. It looks like it's 10.
As you're wedging the door open, he goes,
"We'll come and bring a bucket for you if you need to relieve yourself. Now get ready. We'll bring you your wardrobe in a minute.
Okay.
Remove your foot, performer."
I lean forward.
Or what?
Oh my god. This
Make an intimidation check.
Ooh. Intimidation is a +4. 14, because I got a 10. Oh, intimidation's an advantage. Intimidation's an advantage.
Do it.
19 plus 4, 23. I will show you my dice.
So you put your foot in there and kneel down. Oh, what?
What?
And you got that low sort of growl underneath your mane, and the Darkling kind of cinches back into their dark cloak. The other one looks at him like, "Man, just let the door open. We'll be at the end of the hall. What's the worst that could happen?"
Yes, fetch me my costume.
All right. You stay here.
The methane! Thank you!
Okay. God, Leon and farts on the list. Okay.
It's all that protein.
And one of them starts to leave the door open for possible bowel movements. And then one of them starts to go down the steps to get your wardrobe, leaving one Darkling at the end of the hallway here.
Ooh, just one Darkling? Oh, what a shame.
Do we want to kill it and try to make a break for it here?
I'm going to lean over to Arctron and just let him know that Darklings, when they die, they explode. So be careful.
Oh, I can't eat them then.
You have to muffle.
Well, what if you kill it, and as it's in death midair, you throw it towards the middle of that spinny circle moon thing?
So we are like an inch of its life. I throw it, you shoot it with the bow, it explodes.
I don't have my bow.
I got a spoon though.
Oh, I forgot.
I have a new spoon.
Or we can suffocate it in the bag. Takes 10 minutes.
It's suffocated with my foot.
Takes 10 minutes. That's a long time to
suffocate in the bag.
Yeah. Go to sleep.
If we eat the food, do we get any hit points back?
Give you it's rations.
I'll put some seasoning on it because I can, as a part of a short rest, mix some food. So I could put some seasonings on it, and you get an extra D8.
Because all I need is 6 more hit points to be at max, which would be great. So. Also, we all have spoons, Quincy. You seemed quite excited about utensils. Do you need How much time do you need for all of the spoons?
Are we gonna hold this whole place hostage with spoons?
Using mainly spoons.
So food in this regard doesn't give you hit points necessarily. It more or less can stave off like exhaustion, that kind of thing.
Fair enough.
Lame.
That is funny though.
How many health points did you need though?
6.
Quincy kind of digs around in his waffles and pulls out a stack of stickers. Which stickers, by the way, have existed ever since the ancient Egyptians, so a very, very long time. And he's going to go ahead and kind of flip through it. You'll notice that they're kind of like kind of like pages of spell books and stuff like that with like some kind of weird adhesive in the back. He takes it off and he comes up to you and kind of slaps it on you, and you get 1d6 of healing.
Oh.
Please, dear God.
As an action, because this is one of my benefits as a warlock here.
Ooh, yeah. Who wanted who needs a spell slot opened up? Is anybody full on spell slots?
I'll ask you for that if it gets to it.
Okay.
Right now, I've only spent one of my level 1s and one of my level 2s.
Okay.
But, you know,
so I'll use my bolstering magic. So, Quincy, I'm gonna tap you on the shoulder. Roll a d3. The creature regains 1 expended spell slot, the level of which equals the number rolled. So, if you have a level 3, you got a 1. Okay.
Oh, 1. I'll take it back though. It's worth it. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else need the magic Leonin touch?
I mean,
make you feel very good, yeah.
This is how I fix your spine. Yeah. Okay, so cool. So at least I'm helping. Just that little bit of magic really helps.
That's good.
Short rest to get my daunting roar back.
Nice.
If Quincy adds his spices to this soup, does that help, DM?
You won't get any health from the food, unfortunately.
Okay.
I will just pretend that I get health back.
Actually, hold on. I might be able to do that as well.
Quincy, thank you for this.
You're welcome.
Bolstering magic again.
I also don't want to. I'm only down 4 health points at this point, so I don't want to waste anyone's like spell slots or whatever.
Yeah, I'm saving mine for battle.
As you
Never
should.
mind, I could not help you with that.
That's okay. I do also now after the short rest, I now have my second win again. So if I need to use that, I can.
Cool.
So are we gonna go off this guy or?
So are we going to perform or are we going to be a nuisance?
You know I'm in for nuisance, so.
As much as I love performing, I'd prefer to be a performing nuisance.
Let's wait till both of them are upstairs. So when they come bring our costumes in, because it's one thing to off one person, but then if they come up the stairs, see the dead body, they can come running down. They have to be in our room. They have to be trapped.
If it explodes,
we'll just knock him out.
Throw it towards that.
Be bleeding on the floor with your bib.
Oh, like tuck it underneath of me.
Yeah. And we make him come in here, and then we beat him up, and then we leave.
That's one nasty shit.
Oh my god. Sorry, I have a prolapsed. No, I'm just kidding. Anywho, yeah,
I'm down for that. That works.
Abby was to set up for him as bullet. He was like, "What?" Like he was not.
We're gonna lie and kill some darklings.
Yes, I'm gonna pretend die.
Abby's like, "I'm not good at that."
Well, then
From the staircase nearby, the winding staircase, you hear a.
Fucking lever
Jesus.
girl.
God,
Lucy's like, Lucy's like, too much time again.
It sounds like someone carrying like a chest of some kind, like up the stairs.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay. Places.
Lucy's gonna stand right behind the door, like so that once they come in, they don't see him right away.
I'm gonna put my bandana up over my face to kind of like make like a mask, like I'm a doctor. Like, oh my gosh.
I'm just gonna stand wide in the open.
Face down
I'm going to pull Abby out of the open. Grab you by your bird shoulders, lift you up, put you over here.
Okay, so just so I understand the situation perfectly, Lucy's going to be behind the door. Quincy, you're putting a mask over your face.
Yes.
Archeon, Moss, Abby, where are you in the room right now?
I am in the middle of the room. Apron is it's still on me, but it's kind of tucked underneath of me. Okay. So like the blood is just oozing out from the I'm just face down in blood right now.
Just so you know, Lucy's plan, if it comes in, is to grapple it, and as I've got it grappled, you guys kill it.
Yeah.
Don't kill him. Don't kill him. He will explode.
Knock him out. Knock him out.
Just the old go to sleep.
So if you remember from when Quincy destroyed those Darklings in the Bullywog Kingdom, they didn't necessarily like explode like a grenade. They shone out with bright, blinding light and then turned to ash.
Oh.
So put it in the bag.
Oh, just put it in the bag of holding. Just put a Darkling in there, like ha ha ha.
And then suddenly just like randomly 10 minutes later.
Let him out. Ha ha.
A light
Darkling.
we use the lights of blinds. Anyways, they're coming. So
we're getting cabin fever right now.
Okay.
So the second Darkling comes up at the top of the stairs, starts to come around the corner, dragging this chest of various costumes, sort of billowing out of it.
I'm gonna prestidigitation, kind of like some puff of thing, like some weird sensory, an odd sense. That's what I can do. Out through the door and be like, "Oh my gosh, no! Arionin is down. He's bleeding. Come, help! Come on, come here! He's bleeding on the floor. Look at him. No. The door's wide open. See him.
Make a deception check, Quincy.
Can't even help because I'm also screaming with him.
Sure.
Okay. That was a 19 the first roll.
Okay, cool.
That was a 19 the second roll. Okay, that's
Ooh.
fine. Deception plus 5, 24.
Help!
He's bleeding. Prestidigitation.
Oh no, things are happening.
Prestidigitation.
very confused.
Methane. Oh no, he's dying. I hate Darklings.
I got a nat 20 on one.
I hate Darklings.
And a 12 on the other.
Okay.
So as the two of them start to come in, help! Something's happening to our friend, help! What? The one Darkling kind of just stays behind, a little suspicious. Says, yeah, go check it out. And just stays behind as the other one.
What happened?
No, he's on the floor. Oh my gosh, we need to help move the body. We need more of you guys.
Wait, that blood trail was coming from him? I thought that wasn't a wound.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't tend to it?
Oh my, well, we don't know how to do. We look like we're qualified for this. We're performers.
We just said we needed a long rest and you didn't listen.
This is what happens when you don't give performance what they need in a green room, and also some kind of things where they can sign it's not an NDA and they don't get stressed out about it. And then you just got to get your other friend in here. So this really, really helps. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go Madonna.
Lucy turns the corner to face the other one that's out in the hallway. Actual tears on his face. Please, he was our best friend. Please come out right now.
Oh my God.
I want to do a performance check to convince him.
This would be deception because you're trying to deceive him.
Okay, yeah.
Abby's having a sensory overload at this moment.
What'd you get?
Oh no!
Someone could help him. Give him advantage.
Yeah, yes, I'm helping. I'm helping.
Okay. So roll again.
Put more tears in his ducts. Like
yeah, pre-hesitation. You're putting like sour smells into his eyes so he cries a bit more.
Okay. 12
onion
plus
aroma.
4,
16. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, because before it was a 5. So I swear to God.
15.
Wow.
15.
Darklings, you eat my butt.
So the one Darkling's a little hesitant, being like, I don't know what happened. I think this guy pooped himself to death. It's just here with his lion.
I told you we needed a proper place for him to go.
Goes, oh, God, what do you want? He's like, the Darkling out there's like, what do you want me to do?
Come in here and help us move the body and help us at least get into the cage.
All right. Jesus Christ. Convincing from the tears of Lucy. enters into the room.
As soon as he enters in, Lucifer wants to jump across and try to, with one arm each, grab both of them to try to grapple them.
I close the doors as soon as he walks in.
Oh, I can be like, surprise, and push them into Lucy. Anyway.
Okay. So as soon as it comes in, it's like, what happened? The door, bam, shuts behind them.
Surprise.
Wow, what the fuck? Lucy, you go and try to grab one from behind. And then Quincy, what are you doing?
I'm closing the door, and then I have a spell at the ready to Eldritch Blast him.
And Lucifer's going to scream at Moss to grab the other one.
Yep, I'm on it.
Okay, so this will be a surprise round from the three of you. So
I like this music.
Lucy, give me a grapple check.
Where do I find a grapple check?
Strength.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
sorry, it'll be a strength, a contested strength. So you roll strength check, just straight strength.
Oh no!
You have inspiration.
Right.
You have a D4. You have a D4.
A 25.
Yes, well
thank God,
done.
because it was only an 8 before, so.
Oh.
Wait.
19 plus 6 with my strength.
So no, you would have rolled the 8, and then you would have gotten your inspiration, which was a D4.
Oh, sorry.
Not a reroll.
Out of 25.
Yeah, my apologies.
How to go from 8 to 25? That's crazy.
It's the dice. The dice.
It was a dice.
So 11 total.
Yeah.
11.
Yeah.
So the Darkling had 11, but it has a -1 to strength. So
Oh
that's
my
10.
god!
So you go and grab it, it almost like slinks free, but you just tighten up your grip, got him by the neck. Quincy, who do you want to fire an Eldritch Blast at first?
The one that
the
he's
one-
grabbed. The
Yeah,
one that he's
that'll-
grabbed.
That'll
That's
be at
advantage, right?
advantage. The spoon in your hand starting to glisten and colorfully be lit with your arcane fire. As your
22 to hit.
that'll hit. Roll damage.
Oh boy. That's a full 10.
Oh.
Big, huge shot to the gut as that ember, colorful flame starts to cinder from the torso. Still alive though.
All right, second attack is a nat 20.
Yep.
2d10,
Ooh.
double that. That's 9 plus 3, 12 force.
Throw it in the bag.
You see all the radius light start to cinch up in the body of the Darkling, and then pow! It catches all of you because it's a 10-foot radius.
Mm-hmm.
So I need all of you to roll me Constitution saving throws.
Constitution.
15.
18.
9.
15.
All of you are able to duck just into the final moment. Ebby, you don't get your wings up just in time, and the light blinds you.
He's like, he's losing my sensory overload already. Now he's blind. What is going on?
Sensory overload real.
So you are unfortunately blinded until the end of your next turn, but we'll see how long this goes for. So big light shines out. All of you duck just in time, blocking your eyes. Ebby, you're currently blind. With the second Darkling, who grabbed that one?
Me.
You. So are you grappling it as well, like Jennings?
Yeah.
All right.
I could claw him or unarmed strike him if that would help.
Just to make sure it doesn't get away or scream.
If I grapple him, am I able to like cover his mouth if I grapple him?
Yeah, you
Just
like
so we-
restrain him.
Just so
Okay,
we can
cool.
kill
So
it.
I'm gonna do that.
This is all
and
happening at
then-
the same time. Like Jennings grabbed his Darkling.
Okay.
Quincy, just
Grabbed
like a
his
mafia
Darkling.
mob boss, went bam, bam, just like underneath it with the Eldritch Blast. Your strength
Okay.
check is what?
15 plus 2, 17.
You got a 4. So you immediately grapple him by the torso, grapple to the mouth.
Get him!
Anyone do anything to this Darkling?
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
love to just. I will claw him. I will
All
use
right.
my claws.
Go for your attack.
60, 22.
That'll hit. You're doing a second one? You have
Yes.
extra attack. Yep,
Yeah.
go for it.
I got 60, another 22.
Both hit. Roll damage.
1D.
Use them claws.
That's 4 for the first one, and that is 7 for the second one.
Sorry, it was 4 and 7?
4 and 7, yes.
Two huge slashes as the claws from your hands protrude out like mini little daggers, ripping parts of the cloak off onto the floor. Bits of gangly green blood splurts all over the ground, but he's still kicking and screaming, still alive.
Who would be up next in the?
Evie is the last person in your surprise round, and it goes into initiative. But you're blinded, and you have disadvantage on attacks.
Evie's just hyperventilating in a corner. He didn't know anything he was fighting. Now there's so much noises and he's blind. He's just gonna sit down and talk to his stick.
No.
What are you doing, Abby? Either you're gonna try to attack this thing, or it'll go into initiative.
Abby's doing nothing. Like he's doing nothing. He's just
all right. You're just going
blinded. He's so lost. You sit down and he's coddling his mental stick.
All right. For the sake of brevity, this guy's life is so low. Moss, do you just want to?
Yeah.
Or keep him alive.
Just kill him.
Give me old neck twist.
Like a
Spend time in the forever box.
Pop goes the weasel.
Yeah, I think I do like tell him that I'm sorry while I snap his neck. So I'm gonna do
sorry.
Like his like guts are pretty much on the floor from Archeon slashing his midriff, and then he's go, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna like
cover my eyes.
I'm gonna lay on top of him and close my eyes to try and like keep the light from protruding out to like give people advantage on their roll. Potentially, no, can't do that. Okay, well I'm gonna cover my eyes.
It's just like a flashbang. So once again, you do that, and the rest of you go, get down.
Look away.
Do I just get extra blinded?
No, you're already blinded.
Yeah.
The 4 of you though, roll me con saves.
Oh my god.
7.
Extra blinded. 22. I can't.
11.
I got a 7.
We're blind together.
Quincy and Moss, you are both blinded.
Worth it.
So the 3 of you are blinded, 2 of you are sighted. The mechanic is until the creature's next turn, but we'll say whatever the next turn of movements you do, you'll be blinded until the light kind of that white light leaves your eyes and you're able to focus. So currently 3 of you can't see where you're going.
All right, that's all of them, right? Yes, we're good. Do you hear anybody? Do we hear anybody outside?
No. I can check perception.
Yeah, roll perception.
Can my stick see for me?
30-20.
Ooh.
You could certainly try.
Okay.
Unless you gave the stick away, but I guess it's not really a weapon.
No. It's a friend.
So, dirty 20. Yeah, so you kind of keep your keen senses to the ground there, Archeon. You just hear the machine outside, still very much activated. You can hear the slight murmurs of those goblins in those laboratory outfits murdering about themselves. Go, Did you hear something? Was that some screams up? Sorry, I think I might have heard something.
We might have to move quick.
Okay, we're gonna have to move.
Okay, so are we acting like nothing happened if anybody shows up, or are we getting the hell out of here?
I think we
get the hell out of here, right?
Yep, I think we leave. I think we Lucy House out of here.
And we cannot get past that machine, correct, DM?
So the machine
up
is
in the air.
So you didn't even you could see a little bit from that hallway. There is a upper balcony, and the stairs that you came up to get to this first level continues up to a second level.
Yeah, I would say we rush up there and lead our mates who are blinded and just try to find another place to be where they won't expect us to be.
I agree. Let's go.
Okay, yeah, I think Mouse is like, no, I got it, and she like immediately runs into a wall.
Both into each other. We're like, ow.
Frick!
Lucifer grabs the hands of Quincy and Moss.
Oh no, would that be fine?
We have the
and
anime
I throw
moment.
Abby over my shoulder.
And he's just like screaming.
Hands touch like.
Well, you've certainly fucked up things now, haven't you?
No, we're just fine, Arbador. You're fine.
I
will get you your sword back, I promise.
I put
You
Quincy.
bloody well better.
I put Quincy on the shoulder that Star is not, and I lead Moss because I know she's a little bit more dexterous with her feet.
Okay.
Abby pulls out the stick and just like, what's happening? What's happening?
We're looking for our weapons and then we're getting out of here. Oh, we need to signal.
I'm forgetting.
The Corrids and the
Briganauts.
Yes, we need to signal them somehow.
I mean,
But
breaking
there's-
this thing would be a great signal. As my vision starts to come back. So.
All I have is
I have an oil flask. That's all I got.
There's-
Full of flammable liquid.
Get
That's
it.
all I got.
I can bonfire it.
I have mimic teeth.
Mimic teeth.
Yeah, I took a bunch of mimic teeth.
But there's no windows, right?
Oh.
Cells?
I was like, what is a mimic teeth? That'd be sick. Just you throw those at people like
Where are you guys going?
There's no windows in these prison cells, right?
Nope.
So we need to go upstairs anyways.
Sure, upstairs.
We should start going.
All right. Going upstairs?
Yep.
Okay. Heading up the second set of stairs. Takes you and these dead darklings. Go over here.
Did the wand talk back to me, or is it still mad about what's his name?
Did you want to ask it something?
I asked it, I was like, what's happening? I yelled that while holding up the stick, asking it, but Arshan answered for it.
You're asking the stick what's happening?
I was asking the stick, yes, but Arshan answered instead. I guess not knowing it. I was holding.
Sorry.
It's okay. So it's great. It's actually perfect because I guess my head's behind you. So
You are currently being picked up by your very big furry friend.
Are we safe?
For now.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Okay. Are you still mad?
We'll talk about that later.
Lucy hears Abby speaking to his stick. He goes, just please, buddy, right now. And we got to go.
All right. So as you guys rush up
Bogey.
the spiral staircase, hearing whispers of goblins talking if they heard something, takes you over to the right side of this map.
Drum roll, please.
Come on, baby. Yes. Cool.
So as you start to rush up the spiral staircase, it takes you to the upper walkway above the Orrery of Tragedies. You can see sort of just down from the hallway there seems to be a hallway leading outside, probably to the other two sets of balconies that were in the upper part where Endelin was addressing you from. And then if you go around the corner here, there's a double set of doors right here.
Lucifer will go forward and try to check those double doors with like his foot to see if they are unlocked.
Okay, let me just check something here.
He's like, yeah.
I think my vision's back at this point. I have thieves' tools if we want to unlock the door.
So you go
I am
over
gonna unlock
to the door.
The greatest enemy of D&D.
Can I seduce the door?
So
Is the door unlocked?
Jennings, you go over to the door. You kind of look down. You see from the bottom level of the contraption, the sort of laboratory-looking goblins are kind of starting to disperse and leave that area. You go over to two double set of doors. You kind of tap with your foot. It is locked.
May I think we have to go to the balconies. I think it's our only option.
I can.
I was about to say wrong. I'm just gonna boot down the door.
I think she's out there. I mean, yeah, try it.
I can try and unlock it. Every like wiggles his fingers with his gloves on that no one else can see. And Evan looks up to her. She's like, "I hope it's okay, but I braided your hair while I was up there." It's just.
What?
He starts
I can
walking
feel
away.
like parts of my name like braided, like where?
That's so great.
Yeah, whoever has thieves' tools, go for it for sure.
All right, so I roll But for my using my things, what do I roll for it? A sleight of hand, is that right? Yes.
Yeah. You're going to sleight of hand dexterity check.
Okay, now I think I have my gloves equipped. I want to double check just to be sure. Yes, okay, so they're equipped. That's 20.
Nice. 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just check something really quick.
Tickles the doorknob and it opens. Open Betsy crackers.
I just lean into the door like you're safe for now, but the next door, not so safe.
Okay. Abby, you go over to the door and unlocked.
Hey.
You take your keys away, and Arctron, you're gonna push it forward.
Sure.
Abby moves.
Sure. You're like, it's unlocked, and a foot just goes right past your head as you're like leaning down to kick the other. Like, poof.
Just like a comical pirouette of a bird. Is la da da. Wait, that's
So yes, I will eccentrically kick down the door.
Hit move and try.
Da, 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 dee, da, da.
The foot.
As you go, Arctron, to kick the door, I've unlocked it. Go. Finally. Boom. Boom. This huge reaction comes from the door. This repulsive set of pink inlaid magic that creates a massive fist, punches you right in the face and rockets you almost off the railing down to the orrery. I need you to make a strength saving throw to save yourself, catch the railing before you fall down into the contraption.
Strength saving throws.
As a force of Bigby's hand reacts to the door being opened and smacks you right in the face.
Goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
heck.
14.
The DC was 15.
That's
This
okay.
massive glowing witch-like hand punches Arctron right in the sternum, forcing them back, falling over the railing and into the orrery of tragedies, tumbling 20 feet to the floor. And you take...
Whoops.
Wow. Stupid ones. 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I literally imagine just a pink.
Can I
version
make
of
a
his hand? Just
Can I make a strength saving throw to possibly grab onto one of those rotating arms?
You'll still.
So I don't.
You'll still hit.
Just so I don't maybe like smack the floor as hard. Like, can I just kind of try to reach for one of the?
I'll give you a dex check at disadvantage because this thing just pulverized you out of nowhere. It's
I'll
like a
take it.
boxer getting boxed in the ears.
You
glad I
said
moved.
strength saving throw, right?
No, that you failed that check. This will be just a simple dex check, not a
Okay.
saving throw, at disadvantage.
Okay.
If I didn't move, would that have been me too?
Yes.
Okay.
17. 10.
Yeah. You fall and hit the ground hard.
Ow.
And with the doors swung open,
Please be my weapons in there. Please be my weapons in there. Please be my weapons in there.
you see the backside of a large carriage black dress.
Oh,
Four
heck.
skeletal arms outreached. 2 bags of leather bags that you saw put your weapons into the room. Endlin, her head just turns, doesn't even move with her body, with the veil looking behind you.
Where are you going?
You only just arrived.
He fell down. That's where he went.
We're looking for the bathroom.
I need you all to roll initiative against Endel and Moongrave.
We're giving you a tragedy, ma'am.
Oh gosh.
Very quickly, just like screams down to him. You better get your ass back up here. So quick.
I'm just like laying on the ground, like.
Take it off, mate. Take it off. This is just initiative, yeah.
This is initiative. Yep.
Can I reroll? I don't want to go up that high.
Nope.
No, you have.
Wait.
You better.
What?
I know it's stupid, but do I have to roll initiative as well, right?
I got a 16.
You're a part of this.
19.
A 4. I got an 8.
That's a 4 with my +1.
Oh.
Okay. Lucy got a 4. Moss got an 8.
Yep.
Quincy, what'd you get?
19.
19. Ebby?
16.
16. Arctreon?
A staggering 13.
13. Okay.
Better than my 4.
So that's
And
where the
she
tears
got
came
a
from,
2.
huh, Lucifer?
What do you say?
I wanted a long rest so bad before this.
Unfortunately, it's like campaign work. If we can't take a long rest, it's just like.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just gotta. Time out.
Hey, I didn't tell you to take that fucking marionette hostage, okay?
Lucifer does one of those Henry Cavill Mission Impossible like shirt
arm reloads. It's just like.
Okay.
How heavy would you say the bags of the weapons are?
You don't know. You haven't held them or have any idea.
Okay.
Okay. So with that, Quincy, you see Endlin Moongrave, her head, skeletal head, turns around, and in a loud, booming voice that echoes through the hallways, "You just arrived! Arrived! And you start to hear vibrations of many, many footsteps starting to erupt.
Okay.
Ew.
So I would like to outside above us, is it open sky?
You are inside currently. This part is not open. Only the amphitheater was outside.
Okay.
Across the hall is open.
Let's convince her to fight there.
Is the hall open outside, like over here? Kind of this.
So yeah, let
here.
me get that open a bit more.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay.
So this is at a wall.
Yeah. I don't know.
And there's two. You can sort of see there's 2 doors, but again, you know that one of these is one of the pedestals that she left from.
Okay. I yelled at my friends, we got to get a signal out to everyone else. And I will go ahead and reach down deep down into Waffles, and bonus action, I will create with a spell slot. I will create my Eldritch Cannon again, and it will be the flamethrower variant.
What are you using to do it with?
I can just, with Tinker's tools, I can just create it. I can just create it with a spell slot.
So doesn't that take an allotted amount of time?
Just as an action. As a bonus action. As an action.
Okay.
So as an action, I can do it, and then bonus action, I will fire it.
Okay, so you see
I will go 5.
Quincy
10,
reach into their
15.
pouch and a bunch of allotted tools just almost like, I can't remember what toy this was necessarily, but remember there was like a series of like, they look like pickup sticks, but they're like magnetic.
Connects.
That you kind of connects, that kind of comes
Yeah.
out. So they seemingly almost like Transformers, like magnetized pieces that just look like rubble or look like nuts and bolts to the untrained eye, just whip out. And the way Quincy's able to manipulate the nuts and bolts, it all just connects together into somewhat of a loose device.
I will run down the hall as I'm kind of digging it out and be like, my friend would like your head. And
Okay.
I want to blast her with a
Thank
flamethrower. And it will be a dex save of 14, please.
Don't say please.
DM, please.
Why,
Hex with this one.
What are all those? Never mind, I can't ask that.
Ooh, that is a 5.
Okay, full damage, 2d8. That is an 8 and a 7, 15. Fire.
I feel like we're going like just straight Krav Maga style at this point. Just
Absolutely.
Attack.
Yep.
Okay. So with that, Quincy, you rush in. Those loose mechanics just form into something that you can just loosely throw a little firebolt at. Hits her straight into the undercarriage. Starts to light up and fire a little bit. Direct hit.
All right. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be cooking her a lot, so just watch out. Just so my friends know that like fire gonna be out there.
How much damage is that altogether?
15.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that is my turn. I will kind of stay here at the middle.
All right. Ebby, it's your go.
Abby looks at this and remembers that we need to get a signal, and he yells to them, "Can we find a way to get her outside? Because I can get a signal right now if we can get outside."
If you can send a signal, by all means, get outside and send one. We can
Okay.
handle her.
Send it. Full send it.
Send
Okay. For my knowledge,
No thoughts, head empty.
Hey!
the room that she's in, is it the top of the location she's in? Like, what would the roof be?
Like how far up is the roof?
Is it breakable?
Very hard to determine. It's a stone, mountainous, rock-hewn fortress.
Okay. Give me a quick sec to confirm what I want to do.
I could just hear commotion as I'm like just laying on the ground, like. Ugh.
Yeah,
Okay.
your eyes kind of are dizzying and blurred as they kind of come back into focus.
Just as a question for the DM, since there only seems to be one stairwell and multiple people trying to get through this stairwell, can I defend the stairwell?
You can certainly try.
Cool.
So Abby thinks, and he's like, "Okay, I'll go get a signal, but if you can get her outside, this would be wonderful." And then he takes off to start heading outside.
Okay, use your movement.
Okay, so I can. So I can move, I think 25 is here, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
You can fly, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't say where my flying is on here, right?
It should say at the top next to your speed.
It just says 25 feet speed walking. Oh, flying is 50. Yes, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, there we are.
Okay,
That's
so
odd.
I will get outside. So Abby's up in the air, and he's trying to think of something that he can do to get people's attention. So outside? What's the weather right now? What can Abby see?
Lightning, gray skies, rain petering down onto the the
Okay.
rock-hewn structure.
Super Saiyan Ebby.
Okay, so Abby's trying to think like what he can do. How far away would you say? How big of a signal would I need to make to get their attention?
That's completely up to you. You guys never really discussed what the signal would be or what it would look like or how it would be conducted.
Because you can make it!
Absolutely. Okay, so Abby lets out a breath, opens his hands, and starts floating up in the air. His colors fade to entirely green. The clouds start to part in a whole circle, leaving a symbol of a circle and a blast in the center as he separates the clouds using wind wall.
Okay.
Yeah. So the clouds all part around where they are to try and make the biggest unnatural looking thing ever
Yes.
for them to see. And
All
it's
right.
120 feet.
Nice.
Okay. So as you fly across the railings of the Orrery tragedies down there. You make your way out to the balcony where Endelyn was, and you see that weird bird flying contraption also settled on the railing over there.
Right.
As you pass it and go up, and all of a sudden your feathers protrude out. Lightning starts to shocks off of you. Your whole entire peacock plumage starts to glow bright neon blue as lightning starts to extrude from your eyes, and all of your feathers started to almost dagger up into these like very sharp points, and little bits of lightning tentacles are little veins are snatching off of every possible feather in your body as you start to get raised up, and this aura of light starts to shine like a beacon in the dark clouds as you just put your wings together and creates enough wind and enough gust to separate the dark clouds so that the sky is kind of visible once more, and a enormous lightning bolt is drawn from the sky using you as a conductor as you just shoot it from your body, and it rockets down to one of the mountains below, and tons of rocks and boulders get shattered into a million pieces and creates a bit of tumble as they fall down to the ground, creating tons of noise, tons of friction as the boulders kind of fall down to the wayside. And you just wait for a response.
Wonderful.
So you've got you being a giant shining beacon in the sky, clouds parting, and a giant conduit for this massive thunderbolt that's broke a part of the mountain that you're on.
Wonderful.
Hopefully they noticed. Okay. After that, we come to Endelyn. And with Quincy dead center.
This is gonna hurt.
Buddy.
Let's see here. Okay. As Endelyn starts to look down at you, Quincy, the smoke rising from the makeshift contraption that you made to go with the firebolt spell. She looks at you. She lifts up her veil, exposing the delicate skull underneath. She reaches out and grabs these almost like violin sharp strings from the puppeteer box underneath her carriage.
Let's create a tragedy together this time, shall we?
And rocket speeds, uses the lashes to using them almost like these stinging, thin, razor sharp violin strings that just slash up to you and back you away 10 feet from the first slash.
Okay.
That is a natural 19.
Oh.
That's
yeah.
5 to hit.
Uh-huh.
So you're going to take 4d6 plus 3 psychic
my
damage
God.
on
Oh my
the
God.
First hit. That is 13 points of psychic damage from the first hit, and you're moved back 10 feet.
Okay.
And she rushes you again and is going to do the same thing. If this hits, you fall over the railing to the ground potentially.
Okay.
Hey, there's a cushion waiting for you at the bottom.
Can I cast Silvery Bobs on her? It's when somebody else is being attacked.
Do you have to have eyes on them because you're currently outside of the hallway? It'll say when you see, yeah. So this is gonna hit Quincy. It's a natural 17.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Another 11 points of psychic damage, and I need you to make me a strength saving throw.
Okay. 18.
DC 15. Another slash from the razor sharp violent strength. Bam! You hit the rock hard railing off the side, almost teeter over, but you latch on with your arm and stick the landing. You do not fall.
All right.
So you are pushed, sort of moss over here, kind of hit there. Okay. And after that, Endolin looking at you dead in the face, Quincy, that skull protruding from underneath the veil.
Oh, sister, we have company.
And just shouts that out. And ends her turn.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
After that, we come to Arctreon. On the floor, your body breathed in pain. The swipe, you can still hear the swooping of the mechanical objects.
I'm getting too old for this.
And you notice that these golden rods with various shapes weaving, one of them seems a little bit darker in light than the others. And as they're swooping around, you're kind of starting to get up, and you notice one of them starting to go. Another rod dampens. Two other rods still fully lit, swinging about.
Okay. A couple of things. Can I make 2 perception checks?
Mm-hmm.
One, I want to see if there's anything that I can jam the gears with.
Well, so you can do one perception check as an action.
You
can't do 2, yeah, for your turn.
Okay. Okay, then hold on, let me think then, because I want to see about this. Because if there is going to be enemies, I want to see if I can stop this somehow, or if I can start just kind of running up the stairs and start helping out. Requires a lot of movement. Is there any of those creatures near me that are starting to help out, or am I kind of cleared for the safe part?
Actually,
yes, yeah, that's why.
You have entered the contraption space on your turn. These whirling things are directly in your direction. So I need you to make me a save to avoid getting hit, like in Fall Guys, as the beams are coming right for you. So I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh. I have advantage on that. Thank God I have advantage on that. That's God, my math. 14. Oh, I'm gonna use my D4 of inspiration just because I feel like 14's not that high. 18.
DC was 15, so you will take half damage of 8d10 lightning damage.
I'd die. I would just die.
I can't rage before this happens, can I?
I will give you that if you would like.
Yes, so I can take a quarter damage.
To be like, I would like to rage.
Yeah. Just like I get up angry. I'm like, ugh. And I will obviously rage.
You saying that you're too old for this pisses you off. She's like, I don't speak to myself that way. Oh!
And then I just want to see what my wild surge would be. Let's roll a 8, shall we? Where are you? There it is. Oh, have I gotten this one before? It's 8. That doesn't. Number 8 is a bolt of lightning shoots from your chest. Another creature of your choice that is within 30 feet of you must succeed a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 radiant damage. and be blinded until the start of your next turn, until your rage ends. You can use this effect again on each of your turns as a bonus action.
You could use to shoot the machine.
I'm a Tony Stark this. I was just
All
right
right.
up the chest.
It made me like the balloon. Be careful.
So as you kind of hit the bottom ground, these mechanical machines swirling all around you, start to get up, and one hits you straight in the nose of the bridge and just pisses you the fuck off. You hold on to the bar as your muscles start to grow around
like
it.
sliding around.
Yeah, and you start to charge your own lightning from your body as a response and shock it as it's shocking you. So the full damage would have been 47 points of lightning damage, but you
half of that is
succeeded. So half of that is 23.
Half of that,
and half of that is 12.
No. You essentially healed yourself 30 plus.
I would have died. I would have died.
cool. Okay, so with that being said, does the machine take any sort of damage from this?
For the half damage from your rage, is it just melee damage or is it all damage? Because this is particularly lightning damage.
Bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage.
So you don't get this quartered. So
Okay.
you do take half of the 47, so 23 points of lightning damage.
Yep. Okay, now I'm not looking so as hot.
And then you got hit with the 27 points.
Yeah, I'm 31 out of 65 now.
Okay. All right, and then you shoot your lightning into the machination. It just hits a creature nearby. Doesn't need to make an attack save or anything, right?
It does make a Constitution saving throw or take
All right,
1d6.
so it's just a structure, so it will fail. How much damage do you do to this machine?
1d6 of radiant damage. So hopefully it lands on. It takes 3.
Okay. So you see that you got hit by this thing super hard, but you hold on to it. Your muscles expand and grow, and this essence from you just shocks back into the system, and you see parts of it start to sort of rock back and forth a little bit, but it's still swirling around. Okay.
And I don't think. Oh boy!
And you can also hear the footsteps of people coming up.
Okay. Where does the mechanism move me to if it's gonna swirl me around a little bit? Just so I can start. I'm gonna come running up to you guys if I can help out a little bit better.
So it'll sort of rock you over here and then hit you right there.
Okay. I'm a boogie upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So make your full movement.
5, 10, 15. 15 to as I'm up the stairs, and then that's me right there. 15. Whoa, the map just moved drastically. There we go. 15, 20, 25, 30. Can I be in the same space as Quincy? Because my full movement puts me right there in front of Quincy.
You can move through your allies, but you can't stand in the same spot as them.
Oh, my move is after her, so I don't want to. I will stand here and assess the situation.
Okay. So you haven't used your action to perceive, or you didn't do that? Because if you haven't used your action yet, you could hold your action for an attack or something if you hadn't.
Yeah, I'll hold it to attack.
For what scenario? Like when you see Endolin, you're gonna throw like an you don't have your weapons yet.
No,
you only have your claws.
I will when I will ready my chest burst.
Okay. So with that, you go from Arctreon to Moss.
Okay, let's see. So, let's see.
Somebody said Archeon is literally raging against the machine. And that's just
so
too
funny.
good. That's just too good.
See now in the fire.
Okay, I'm gonna use my feline agility feat, which doubles my speed, and I'm going to leap and bound into the doorway, try to push off and go past Endolin, which I know will give her an opportunity attack on me, but I want to land behind her. I guess I could also land in front of her. I just need to get past Quincy.
Yeah, let me just see what the size of her room is in the hallways. She's going to be tough to get past because the hallway is pretty much as big as she is.
She has 4 arms.
Okay,
There's
well
4
then
arms.
I'll just try to get past Quincy and be in front of her.
Okay, yeah, that you can do.
Okay, so I just jump, move, oops. I'm going to make an unarmed strike. I guess I could do, yeah, unarmed strike
Okay.
on her.
They get our tools back.
I know. Okay.
You've still got your
17.
flurry of blows as well.
I do as a bonus action. Yeah. So
Your
I'm
key
kind of okay as a monk without weapons.
Yeah.
17 to hit.
17 will just hit. Roll damage.
God. I'm going to use a key point to make it a stunning strike.
Okay.
She needs to successfully roll a DC 13 con save.
You sort of flip over Quincy, who just had their back just dreamed and slammed from the railing. Moss, you do this backflip over Quincy's body, get yourself into the hallway, kind of kick up the side of the hallway and just do a spinning back kick, hit her right in the head, and a spark of lightning comes from your face, or from your heel into her face. Part of the veil is ripped off, but she is not stunned.
Okay. So it's still a hit though, right?
Yeah, so you can still roll
Okay.
damage.
Okay, and then as a bonus action, I'm going to do, okay, that's five bludgeoning damage from the one hit. I want to do a bonus action of Fury of Blows.
So it's 5 points from the hit.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that one's going to hit. That was an 18. That's a 12. Okay, so one of the Flurry of Blows hits. I'm only allowed to do 1 key point per turn, right?
No, you should be able to make that a stunning strike too.
I'm going to do another stunning strike.
Okay, yeah, as long as you have enough key points, you can keep using them. Eventually
Great.
you run out. So it's like, how many
So-
do you want to use throughout the course of this?
Of my Flurry of Blows, 1 hits, the other misses. So I'm going to use that to another key point to make a stunning strike again.
Okay.
I mean, if it works, she's stunned until the end of your next turn. So, like, that's a long time.
It is. That's why I want to do it.
Yeah, you should.
So it's so DC 13.
So you rolled to hit, you connected with the unarmed strike, you rolled to hit a second time?
I did a Flurry of Blows for a bonus action. I hit once, missed the other.
So the stunning strike has to be on a hit.
Right, but with my Flurry of Blows as a bonus action, I get 2.
One of them hit, yeah.
One of them
okay.
hit. One was an 18, the other one was a 12.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And it's DC 12?
13.
13. 13 exactly. 6 plus 8.
I feel like at this point, like her jaw got stunned, but that's it.
Yeah, you go spinning back kick. Part of the veil gets cut off from the sharpness of your kick. Yeah, the 4 arms protrude out. The light from the puppetry show in her midriff is now exposed, and you just do another BAM! Right hook. The jaw gets chunked over. She just takes one of her hands and pecks it back.
I will have you perform your sad story for an eternity. The most delicious of them all.
Psychic damage? Let's see. Roll damage. For that 18, 4 damage. Wait. Oh, I forgot to add my +3. Okay, so that's 7 damage, and the other one was 5 damage +3, right? Did I say 8 on the last strike? Because I didn't add the +3 to my.
You didn't say +3.
I didn't. Okay. Well, I forgot.
It was 8 altogether.
8 altogether for the first one, and then the other one was 7.
Okay. All right. So bam, bam, hit those 2 strikes. Endelin's jaw cracks back into place, stares you down with her eyeless skeleton head. And after that, we come to Lucy.
What would it take, DM, to throw her into the spinning things?
That's what I was thinking of doing. So.
Well, let's see. So first off, you would have to get to her, grab her, pull her over to the railing, and either fall off with her or keep her there to your next turn and throw her.
I figured those were the options. Okay. Lucifer does not have feline dexterity. Can he get past Quincy or ask Quincy to move?
Yeah, you can walk through us. You just
Great.
can't stay there.
Great. Lucifer has had to sit back and watch all this happen, and he was already on high adrenaline because of everything that had successfully gone on so far. He sees one of his best buddies, Quincy, get blown back against the railing. He's going straight to him to also deliver as many unarmed strikes as he can. Because he hates not seeing what's happening.
So you're not going to drag her?
Yes. She can't move. So Lucifer can kind of move sort of past you guys. If there was a sort of empty space between
to move her, I get you.
Yeah. So it's kind of a thing of like, Lucy, you could move like past Quincy, for example, but you can't move into like end on Moss's space because there's not like a space in front of her to move to, because she would just you can't be like in the same space because it's a narrow hallway.
And I don't have that special hair anymore, do I? Because it was latched onto that. Well, no, you know what? No, I kept it, but it was latched onto the gate pipe.
Which thing, sorry?
Do you remember when we threw the hair to grapple the thing?
Yeah, you had a use of it and you used it on the gate.
But then I kept the piece of the gate that had the hair wrapped around it in my bag.
You gonna beat an old lady with a pipe?
throw it at her or something.
Yeah, you could throw it at her.
Great. I'm gonna step, but I can't end where Quincy or Moss are, right?
No, you can move through them, not stand where they are.
So there's nowhere that I can go that I'm gonna be able to see her.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight little corner you're in there right now.
So hypothetically, I cannot stand in between Moss and Quincy, throw the pipe, the hair wrapped pipe at her, do the quick dance, and pray that hair thing latches onto her.
So where you are currently, you could probably get to here.
And then after oh God.
And throw it across and try not to hit your friends. It would be a very high athletics check for you to expertly, like a baseball, throw it and not hit Quincy or Jackie. It's possible.
Because otherwise I'd have to go in, attack her, and then move out so that I'm not in their spaces, right?
Yeah.
I can't go in there, hit her with the stick, hit the dance move, and then run out.
No, unfortunately.
All right, then I can't try to grapple her because Moss is right there, yeah?
I mean, you can grapple on the other side, but you just can't be on Moss's side.
What you could attempt to do is because you can move through them, but not stationarily stand in their space. What you could attempt is go through them, rush Endelin, grapple her and use your full movement to kind of football rush her into the room with her. So you're giving a bit of space between her and your allies, but then you're in the room with her.
That's fine. I want to protect my friends and just go. I know that Lucifer does not have rage, but use his like battle blood to just give this thing everything and be fueled and his friends get hurt. So yeah.
So you come around the corner and you Matrix style sort of bicycle run up the hallway into the ceiling and just rocket yourself on an angle towards Endelyn and kind of rumble and tackle her in a somersault faction into the ground. So I'll have you roll me another strength check. It'll be opposed.
Oh, man, fuck! You got this, Lucy!
It's not a saving throw.
It's just straight up strength.
Just waiting for my did.
Nat
20! 20!
Oh, sorry, dirty 20. Woo!
Dirty 20 altogether?
Dirty 20, yeah. 17 plus 3.
I saw the 20 and I got really excited.
So altogether it was 20.
Yes.
You bicycle up the wall on the ceiling. You rocket yourself towards Endelyn as Endelyn's about to go towards Moss. The two hounds protruded here. You rocket the two other arms, grab you by the waist and throw you to the side. She got a 23. 18 plus 5.
Damn.
Oh.
So as you bucket yourself over, she just grabs you with her two extra arms and throws you over to the side of the hallway. Doesn't work.
I do have a second attack. Does that first one just count as a single action because I have 2 actions?
So you have 1 action to attack. With your 1 action, you can attack twice. Now you have second wind, no?
Yeah.
I have
action surge.
I have action surge.
So you could, in that space, use your action surge to try to hit her before she throws you off.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that gives you another action. So that means you could potentially grapple her, try to grapple her again.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going all in.
Another contested strength check.
15.
You bolt over almost like a Black Panther-like style. You run up the wall to get almost a ceiling and then rocket with your legs down like your own arrow. And she grabs it with the 2 skeletal hands. Nice try, demon boy. Throws you to the hallway. But like Star, use your reactions to bounce off that wall and you just rocket your headbutt into her sternum. Boom, 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 boom. You both tumble into the room. It succeeds. What's your full movement?
With my movement, I want to get to our backs.
So no, you currently grappled her from here with your movement. So the idea was you grappled her and you used your movement to run her into the room here.
Great, then I just want to hold her there.
Okay.
For as long as I can, and have my friends either attack or at least grab their stuff first.
And you can use your full movement because you have 25 feet?
Yeah.
You could rush her to the edge of the wall here if you wanted to. And
I want to do that.
Throw her in the mirror and then break the mirror.
I want to smash her into that mirror, pin her against that wall, whatever I got to do. Just full body, full strength.
What's the term? What's the
Y'all better run so fast. Y'all better move so quick.
So as you tumble into this room with Endelyn, you look around and you see scores of wooden marionettes hang from the ceiling of this oddly shaped room, the floor of which is strewn with old play scripts. Near the entrance are 2 alcoves, one containing a bare table, the other holding a wooden chest with tiny clawed feet. Deeper in the room, you see a wicker basket surrounded by miniature toy birds. Scores of hourglasses are fixed to the walls. Whenever the sand of an hourglass runs out, the mechanism that attaches the hourglass to the wall causes it to flip over. And the steady hiss of all those falling grains of sand can be heard throughout the room as a large glass doored wardrobe with jade eye embedded in its corners stands on the far side of the room that you just bury her right into it as the wood snap and burst and the places of glass just shatter all over the place. And it's there, everyone, that we're going to end the stream.
Oh my God.
So, there you go. Wasn't sure how that was going to all start out, but here we are.
Wow.
So that long rest is off the table.
Take a long rest when we're dead.
I won't lie. I was curious what our next performance is going to be.
But with that, guys, that'll end tonight's session. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching these amazingly talented creators go through this insane Feywild romp. We are here, everybody. The battle has begun. Thank you all so much for tuning in, everyone who commented, everyone who rated. We obviously super appreciate you guys checking us out here every 2 weeks. Please come back, and hopefully in another Tuesdays, not next week, but the week after, we will pick up this battle and see where our weaponless heroes get to next. Hopefully into the room. But yeah, this was a great session, everyone. Thank you, the creators, for taking their time out of their busy schedules to join me tonight. As always, we always super appreciate it. Hope you guys had fun at home watching. And yeah, come check us out. This coming Monday is the part 1 of 2 finale to Beyond the Realms. My original homebrew campaign that kind of started all this insanity is coming to a close, and a new phase is about to begin. So thank you all so much. Can't thank you enough. Stay safe out there, everyone. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.